Hello, everybody. This is Mike Yao with Savage Kingdoms role-playing game, Firehead Productions, blah, blah, blah. You've probably heard this all before if you've seen the channel. If you're new to it, then just ignore the blah, blah, blah part. So I'm the creator and designer of Savage Kingdoms role-playing game. Definitely check it out. Since the OGL debacle of D&D, more people are turning to different games, which is awesome because I think people need to. Because there's some really cool games designed out there, not just by me, but millions of other people. Well, okay, not millions, but thousands. So these are my lovely players. Some of them are fellow actors, and some of them are just fellow gamers and just fellow awesome people. Starting to my left with Mr. Eric.
Uh, Hello. Tonight I will be playing Ivanovich von Mulov. He is the next king of Molovia if he has his way. Otherwise, he is a pretty nice guy, even though he's a vampire, and has no qualms about just about anything he wants to do. So that's pretty much him in a nutshell.
Pretty much. All right, and Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm playing a character named Glev. He is a long-time association with Ivanovich's family. He's currently a high priest in the Order of Anderok with goals of being a death master. And yes, he's sworn to protect Ivanovich, and he likes the party he's with currently.
Cool. Well, somebody's got to like him. And Duncan.
Hey there, I am Duncan. I will be playing the character Drago von Urik, who is a Mulovian archer ranger type with a raven familiar. He is not so manipulative as other Mulovians, but still does practice quite a bit of death magic as well. And he's just along for the ride with this party because he's enjoyed all the shenanigans they've gotten into. So.
And Madison.
Hello, I will be playing Abigail Cliff, a half dark she assassin, occasional thief.
And she's dressed the part.
Usually thief.
She's dressed the part of future Abigail, or so Ivanovich hopes. So this campaign is called this is called the Blood Crown campaign. So the upcoming heroic adventures, Savage Kingdoms Heroic Adventures book will contain this adventure. However, they're off the rails or way beyond the scope of the adventure that's published. I mean, we're probably 25 sessions beyond the core adventure. So just for everybody at home really quick, if you're new, so the Blood Crown is this ancient relic that belonged to the original dynasty of Molovia, which took its name from the von Mulovs, Mulovia. And Ivanovich is a von Mulov. Yeah, whichever. I've kind of given up pointing on Zoom because you look at the final recording, you're always inevitably pointing the wrong way. So they retrieved said relic, and instead of giving it back to Count Von Glanovich, who they were some sort of sworn to do so, they have not. They decided to keep it for themselves. And so now Ivanovich is making this play for power and Molovia, probably seeking the entire throne of the Winter Kingdom.
Not probably.
Bet all the way, yeah. Now he's known Glev Ravenov for quite a while since a boy. The other Abigail and Drago he just hooked up with. Can you believe it? In campaign time, it's only been like 8 months.
Perfect.
Not even quite, like seven and a half.
You've been playing it for 5 years.
Yes. I mean, for real, it's been what? Almost
Over
2 years?
Yeah.
Has it been almost that long?
Year and a half.
Oh, that's right, because of the pandemic. It was prior to the pandemic, wasn't it?
Well, that was more than a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was a while.
That was coming out of it. We started this coming out of it, I think.
So
I don't know. What is time anymore? So, well, last we left off, our intrepid heroes or anti-heroes are camped out on a hillside in extreme western Molovia in the Raven Mist Forest, and they found this nice little precipice in the foothills ranging up towards the Sanctuary Mountains, which you can see behind Eric. And just enough to those of you with keen sight can see Blackrook Castle, which is the home castle of Count Von Glanovich, about 8 to 9 miles away. Can just make it out, and at night, well, at nighttime you can because the cauldrons and torches that are burning on the walls. Daytime, it's really difficult. But that's where you are. And I think y'all were spending the night. And as it was getting later in the night, when the last time we left off, you heard the roar of some beast off in the distance that sounded pretty draconic in its
Lovely
verbal machinations.
This, just to clarify, this was after the Slua, so we got a full rest. It's morning now.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, you met Slua, these strange kind of undead dark she creatures that some tried to get to the ghost fence, the whole thing. I won't you guys saw the recap on the Facebook page. And yeah, so this is to Madison's question, this is several hours later. This is right at around sunrise when you heard the roar.
So
yeah.
we did sleep after our encounter with
Yeah,
Slua.
you would have gotten 5 more hours of rest, so you got 5 stamina back after that Slua business. So if you want to sleep in another 3 hours, you can get all your stamina back, but otherwise you have 5 returned right now.
Normally Ivanovich would definitely sleep in, but he's kind of in the mood to chase after Von Glanovich because Von Glanovich is escaping him, and the whole purpose for being here was to catch him.
Oh,
Well, I thought we were going to try and find our friend Magus.
Well, that is why we are here back in the hills. We were hoping to reconvene with Magus so that we can make our way back. But if I sleep in,
Yeah.
it would be defeatist, you know.
Da.
I want to find Magus and get moving.
There is a possibility that we can find him later on. I have a piece of his hair, so I can track him down.
Good point.
After we slay. Oh no!
Von Glanovich. Hey, look, you're already becoming like me.
I'm turning into you. My goodness.
It's all right. Names
Oh,
are not
dear God.
important. The only
One
names
is
that are
enough.
important are those around you. Your enemies, they don't matter. It could be von Schmackelberg. It doesn't matter. He's going to die, and that's all there is to it.
That's a
Do we have
lesser
it?
house.
Do we have the trail of von Glanovich? Do we know which way he's heading?
We have a piece of his hair. We can track him that way.
Last
his
time
hair.
when I used my bowl to and the piece of his hair to summon an image of him, he was heading towards, I forget. I need to look in my notes. Transia.
Speaking of
heading to see the king.
Bowl, speaking of the fairy bowl, has enough time passed that we can use it to check on our friend Magus again?
Yes, if he's in danger, I think he would take priority.
I'm able to use it once every dawn, so.
Well, it's dawn now.
So Abigail, yeah, last time you used it was right after dark last night, so it's probably about 10 or 11 hours ago.
Okay. So
you know, but yes, dawn is approaching, like right now.
So I could check in on him, but the last time I saw him, he was in a cave with skulls and bones, and he heard something with his axe ready to fight something. So I'm assuming he found the dragon. Who knows if he survived or not? So
hence why it would be good to use the bowl.
It's good.
I mean, I guess you could see his corpse laying there if he died.
Let's hope I don't.
Or the inside of a dragon. That might be an interesting thing to see.
I really, you know what? I'm just gonna keep that thought to myself. She.
I mean, I don't wish to see that either. I mean, I want Magus to eventually lead my armies because he's a very pure heart. But you know, the other things are interesting too.
Yeah, she just doesn't say anything to that. She just a judgmental look as she just takes out everything.
It's always about blood and viscera with those vampire types.
Yeah, and while she's like doing her ingredients, it's like, man, what would an inside of a dragon look like?
See, I'm
And she
thinking.
begins to
Okay,
focus
let's
on
say
that.
it out loud.
All right, so you set up the fairy bowl, the
Yes,
bowl
I
of
do.
Farsight, and you begin to weave the spell. So make your magical art shadow
All
roll.
right, let's see how it
Shadow
goes.
magic. Or air, but I think you're shadow.
Yeah, I'm shadow.
Boom.
Ooh, good low rolls tonight.
I think you missed by one.
Woohoo!
I missed by one.
DL5.
Get those out of the way
difficulty
right now.
15.
15.
So
Yep, 14.
14. So yeah, for a briefest moment, there was a flicker of a grayish image, and then it just vanished quickly. You couldn't even tell what it was.
She looks at the bowl. She's like, oh, I shouldn't have been thinking about the dragon's insides.
And that cost you 3 stamina, unfortunately.
Yep.
Stamina points.
Vonovich's influence is terrible.
Yes, it is. Oh, goodness.
I wish I could have aided, but I do not know this
It's
spell you
fine.
work on.
Perhaps I can try another time. Perhaps with different circumstances. I could be able to do it.
Is that
Maybe
an
get
option?
fresher water.
I think I can try as long as I think I can try again, provided I haven't already actually succeeded in the day. But
Well, you're thinking of the actual spell, the item itself, would have to recharge until the next dawn.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't guess
Ah, shit.
that.
If you do the actual spell, you could do it.
Unfortunately,
As long as you
unfortunately
have the
not.
stamina.
Dumb. Well, we gave it our best try.
We can hope for the
What-
best.
Yeah, I'm sure Magus is more than capable. I mean, he did kill an Isaverm.
Well,
He
we
had
all
help.
did.
He had help. It's
Sorry.
very different facing something on your own, but
But he's also not an idiot. So
this is true.
then again, he did charge up to a black devil tree and start punching it. So
Some might call it brave, some might call it foolhardy.
well, I don't know. Could be a little bit of all the above.
Well, is the priority Von Glanovich then? We think he's okay for now?
At this point, I mean, I think that would be wise. Don't let him get to the capital if we can get there before him or get to him before he gets there. I wish I could tell how fast he was trying to travel, if he was going at haste or if he was going at his normal leisurely pace.
Although,
I
if
think
we
they
were
would
to
go.
wrangle this dragon, we could catch up to him faster.
Well, that is true. I mean, but I'm not sure I would trust riding the back of a dragon.
If it would even allow you.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think any of us are proficient with animal handling.
I would fall off the dragon, as I fall off of most animals. So,
Well, I would hold on and tie you to it. I would make sure you do not fall off. Not to be said that he wouldn't knock us all off at the same time, or lay on the ground and roll over us, which would also kill us. Lots of options for the dragon.
that's how it is when you're a dragon, I
That's
suppose.
right.
As you're talking, you can feel the temperature dropping. Like it feels like a cold front is coming in. Colder than normal in Mulovia in the mountains in the winter.
Can this country get any more colder?
Does it feel supernatural to me?
You can make a magical arts roll or survival. Weather detection
It's
special.
chilly.
Let's see, I will do magical arts. So, no, let me see here. Do I want to do? Yeah, I'll do magical arts roll. Okay.
All right.
So,
Won't cost any stamina since you're technically touching the air.
All right. I don't. Let's see. I got to add my modifier. I didn't add my modifier. That would be 26.
Ooh, 26. Yeah, you are 100% certain this is actually not supernatural. This is probably just another cold front, probably packed with snow on its way.
It doesn't feel like a harbinger of something dangerous, but
Well, that
I
is
think
good.
we must decide our path before we lose the day.
It's still just about dawn. It's not,
Well, I know you like to talk, Lord Ivanovich.
I get this Glev. Okay. I see how it is going to be tonight.
You
It's
start a
fine.
diatribe before we know it's sunset.
Well, filibuster, is that the word the Laurentians use? Somebody
I
uses it.
think
I don't know.
so.
Here's
Anyway,
an idea. I don't know how far you can be separated from Radu, but is it possible for you to send your bird to Magus to see if he's well?
Well, he would
Perhaps
have just as
Radu could even lead him back to us.
I had thought that perhaps I could leave him behind with the smoke signal, but I mean, he would have just as hard of a time of finding Margaret as we would.
Know where he was
But
heading. He was heading to the cave.
we know exactly what cave, or do we just know some cave?
We've been hearing roars coming from a very specific cave, I think, off in the distance. At least I believe, haven't we?
believe
It's
so.
Yeah, could be any number of caves, but it does sound like it has been no further than like 7 miles away.
I don't know if Radu would like to fly towards Dragon.
that is another thing.
That's true. Well, never mind then.
I'm
At
sure
the very
Margus will
least,
find us. And if Margus befriends said dragon, maybe dragon will carry him to us or fly him to us or something. Is possibility.
I'm trying to recall when we parted ways. What did we leave? What message did we leave with Magus as far as where to meet us? I forget.
We didn't. We told him we were going to be at Blackwood at the castle killing Von Glanovich and to catch up with us there. But Von Glanovich isn't there, therefore we must continue on.
Well, he has good survival skills. He might be able to track us. We will leave breadcrumbs per se, make our tracks obvious for him.
Can anybody what does anybody know what he speaks? He speaks Scythian and Dragon? Was that it?
Mulovian.
Mulovian. He does speak Mulovian? I never remember. I don't pay attention.
At the very least, I think Radu can at least guard, but it's only I keep contact with him over a distance of about a mile, so he won't be able to linger behind for very long.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe we could do some sort of message here at the camp, because I'm sure that he would.
That would be what I was thinking, was leaving some sort of thing carved to a tree or something. You know, it will snow again, and if we put anything on the ground, it will cover it up. That is the concern there. And anybody who comes through this area might be able to read it, unless they can read something that only he can, or we can, or a few of us can. That is the hard part. So, his question.
It's a good idea. I think it sounds like we want to try to go after Von Glanovich and leave message.
Question to the GM.
Yeah.
See the unseen. Would you be able to track down invisible footprints or tracks that you may not see otherwise? I know that's stretching it, but
I mean, if they were created supernaturally, or then you could see them. With that
okay, so it's only supernatural.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was several days ago that we left Magus, right? Like 3 days, 4 days?
No, it hasn't been.
No, I think it's only been 2.
Yeah, about two. Yeah, two full
Is
24-hour days.
is there any possibility of finding tracks? I don't know if
Uh,
it's snowed
it
We
since
had
then.
snowed
the
a little
one
bit since then, but
snow.
not too much.
It's possible. I mean, you got we
Try.
throw you. I mean, you are a tracker.
The difficulty level is pretty high, but
Yes, but we
And
have that
we will
expert tracker with us who
we
has
will
a
give it a
bird.
shot.
He's a very
okay.
smart bird.
Yeah, make his rival tracking specialty. Oh shit!
Oh,
All right.
Nope.
Start, guys. Great start.
Drago searches the area for about 10 minutes, finding no mongoose tracks.
He barely finds his own.
He pulls a Winnie the Pooh and he tracks himself in a circle. That was one of the Pooh stories. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it sad or awesome that I know that?
Oh, it is awesome.
We just mark some trees or something and
Da.
leave a path
do have-
for him that way.
I do have to use the restroom. Oh, not mark in this way. I'm sorry.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I did not know Magus could
Sorry.
smell that.
What happens when I travel with men? It always happens.
Yes. Glev
We
wants
are a
to
bit
write these
uncouth at
special
times.
yellow runes.
Oh,
They will conjure
Oh, dear.
yellow runes in the snow.
what
Perhaps
is
we can carve. Perhaps we can carve into a tree part of our phrase. We can say the points of our crown are in Transia.
That's a good idea. I like that.
We could also with that we can just write we can write that and then put on their Transia
Da.
because it's just the name of a town of the capital. It doesn't say come to Transia. It doesn't say go to Transia. It doesn't say we're from Transia. It doesn't say I like Transia. I don't like Transia. It just says Transia.
Da.
I think that it might help him understand that it was us that left the message, though, if we add the points of the crown.
Yes. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think we should put that and then just write Transia.
I see.
That way he looks at it and goes, hey, that's my team. Oh, wait, they are going to Transia. Oh, shit, that's a long way away.
Hope that he comes back to this camp and finds the message.
Well, I'm sure he'll come back to this camp. Whether or not he comes to Transia with us is a whole different story. He may just set up camp and just hang out here, do a little hunting, relaxing, a little vacation.
This is good.
I would not blame him.
Who's the most skilled for carving?
I have a very sharp sword.
Are you good with your language skills?
Anyone good at
I'm not much for a crafter, but I definitely have the agility.
I've got the +4 for woodworking.
Oh, well, then you go ahead and woodwork it.
Yeah. So Drago just takes out his steel dagger. There are trees nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both hardwood and evergreens.
So he finds the tree, and where our camp is right now, we're kind of in a clearing with a fire and the ghost fence still going.
Yeah. You're in the Raven Mist Forest, but you're not that deep into it.
So just wants to find like the nearest tree.
Okay.
And carve
10 feet away, probably.
Yeah, and just carve. I could just do the crown itself, like nine pointed crown, and then Transia.
So instead of carving the word crown Mulovian like an image of a crown?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely would take a little bit of skill. So yeah, make a crafting woodworking specialty roll. And this is in
crown
Mulovian,
ends up looking like an octopus.
Someone him.
August is like, they fell afoul of an octopus.
Doesn't need assistance. Never mind.
Explode that 20.
Abigail starts to pull her tools out to help and realizes that Drago is doing this completely photorealistic crown.
All right.
31.
31.
All right. Not quite a crit. I set the DL at 15, but it's amazing looking, and it only takes you like 5 minutes to do it. The writing's very
Nice.
legible. The only drawback is that it's kind of easy for anyone to find, but again, it's kind of a riddle, so most people probably would be like, "What the? Okay."
Even if they think
Crown,
it's the
yay.
crown, they might go to Transia to look for it, and they won't find it there.
Or because it's the capital city, it's associated with crowns already because it's the king's seat.
That's
Mm.
right.
All right.
But yeah,
Right.
it looks quite good. Radu,
Although we are going to
yeah.
Transia, the crown will be in Transia.
So what do y'all do now?
I propose that we build a very large fire near this tree, and then as soon as we have that fire built, then we make our way to Transia.
Too bad
It
we
might
don't.
attract people from Blackrock Castle, but I guess it will also attract Magos.
Da.
It's true. Too bad he can't light the fire for us.
It's true. He's much better at it than any of us.
Well, we have a fire from last night.
Yeah, that's why we just need to make it bigger.
Yeah, it probably hasn't died down all the way.
We've got nice hot embers in there as well.
Do you want to stoke it back up?
Yeah, I'm going to start looking for some more wood and things to stoke it back up.
All right, no skill roll for that. It's pretty simple. There'd be a skill roll if you're trying to do something fancy, like using non-smoky wood, or if you care.
Well, and Drago, I mean, he'd like to make it more of a smoke fire than, I guess, a big fire. So,
okay.
I don't know if that would be a survival.
To create more of a pillar?
Yeah, it'll be survival.
A slow burning smoke fire.
Okay.
Can I assist him? I mean, he might be better at it, but
it's probably better. But you would at least give him a +1, or you both can roll and take the highest.
I want to. Well, I can. What do we want to do? Because I can help as well.
I was going to say I can assist here. Well,
to gather materials and then to build a fire that will burn slowly and give off a lot of smoke.
I give him a +1, so he gets a 22.
22. Okay. Glev helps him out.
I was going to help as well, but yeah, that'll work.
3 people max is probably on this task, and is probably enough. At least it gives Abigail a chance to kind of watch as you guys are involved in this work for about 10 minutes. But you find smoky woods, the live trees obviously do the better trick for that. And then, of course, the next trick is making it slow burn. But yeah, it's very smoky, and you would guess it's probably going to smolder for 6 to 8 hours before the coming weather probably douses it.
That should be good for him to at least find the bearings and get the direction to find this place. Because that pillar is over 1,000 feet high. I mean, wait.
It's 3 yards high.
Oh. As long as Glev's rope. Oh, we forgot to tell him. That came in handy.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm so sorry. I mean, it's a good thing. But your rope came to use, finally. It helped us escape by tying the door. Unfortunately, because it's on a door now, we couldn't
inside of Glanovich's castle.
Inside of a castle.
Okay.
So
let me take it out of my inventory.
I owe you 3 yards of rope now.
Yes, we will get him 3 yards of rope. No
yes,
more, no less.
That is our priority.
With interest, you owe me 5 yards now.
Oh,
it might actually be.
Wow, 40% interest.
That's what I was going to say, man. He's a shitty banker.
5 yards of rope.
Or an excellent banker.
Depends on if you're on the giving or receiving end.
Well, the fire is roaring. Shall we mountain ride?
Duh.
All right. During some of this discussion, I imagine you have fed your horses and taken care of them and all that, and yourselves.
Oh, yes.
And you still have plenty of rations, if I recall. The horse feed, however, is getting a bit on the low side.
Ooh, okay.
You can graze war horses, but they will lose their strength eventually, just so you know. But yeah, but I think you have rough estimate probably 2 days of feed left per horse.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Perhaps when we get to Transia, we can restock on some things. I am a bit low on arrows as well.
No, we can restock in
As well.
Transia, but we need to keep low. I'm contemplating if I should wear my armor or go incognito because I don't want to draw the attention of the blood disciples, thereby giving them reason to send me off on some stupid errand. We've got an errand, a very important errand.
I would suggest not wearing it then until necessary.
I think that is wise. Before we mount up, I go ahead and take I didn't actually put the blood red armor back. Well, yes, I did. Yeah, I just slept in it. So, yeah, I took the armor off.
Okay.
Store it.
You have a cloak, right? You can cover.
I mean, I could cover it with the cloak, but
for the most part,
I tend to be very bravado and will open the cloak and be like, "Ha!" and then be like, "Shit, forgot I was wearing it."
shit.
I mean, I would do that if I was naked under the cloak too. Ha! But I do that anyway.
That's happened way too many times.
It has
happened way too many times, Ivanovich.
And with Olga a couple times too.
Well, it's a vampire thing, maybe. Who knows?
Yes.
Wolfgar never was naked.
No, I don't think that would be a pretty sight.
So how do you want to get there? Did y'all just
Ivanovich catches that look and is like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let that one slide.
So what route are you going to take? You're just going to head due east, or are you going to try to decide on a route?
We were going to avoid Glonograd.
All right. So that would be
because there was a smaller village, smaller town you had pointed out last session.
Yeah, that's southeast of you.
Ilio?
Ilia.
Yeah. A good way. We're going to go through that town first.
You could go that way. It dips kind of south. It's not a very direct route to Transia, but it is a route. The other thing you would know, if you go north and catch the Corvas River, that river flows all the way down to Transia.
We could also ride the edge of the river.
Kind of non-direct, but they will get you there.
What, the river, you said?
Both of those routes are both kind of indirect, but they will get you there.
What do we think is the fastest route?
Well, staying on land
would probably just going due east. Yeah.
And if we tried to just shoot across, we would have passed through Glonograd, and I don't want to pass through Glonograd.
In your vision of Von Glanovich, could you determine which way he was heading?
Trying to show you the map.
Well, he was heading to Transia, but I mean, what road he was on is a different thing.
Yeah, Mike, would I remember exactly that vision? I'm not. She wouldn't be familiar with Mulovia though, so she probably wouldn't be able to.
You did catch a glint of water that looked to be a river or creek or stream. Right at the edge of the it's like he was traveling along the banks of a river.
I think that he was traveling near a river, if I'm recalling correctly. So
that is good. So he's not going the way through the town we want to avoid.
He would have no reason to go to Ilia anyway. But that begs the question: if we dip south and then come north fast enough, we might be able to catch him, flank him off the river, and block him before he gets to Transia, as opposed to going up to the river and trying to catch up with him.
This is also.
I like this strategy.
I say we go through Ilia. We try to beat him. We try to take a route to catch him on the river before Transia.
I'm not sure we're going to catch him since he's got about a day's travel on us at least.
We might have to ride hard then.
Yeah, we will have to ride hard, and I don't believe he was riding hard. Do you remember that, Abigail?
Do I remember if he was riding? I think that he was taking a break or something in the vision. He was having the horse graze or something.
I think that's how you saw the water. They were watering their horses at the edge of the river.
Yeah, so I'll just say they were watering the horses. I don't know if they were if they were just taking a break from riding hard or
Taking a
taking their
leisurely go.
time.
Well, all we can do is try.
Plus, you don't know how far downriver he was, unfortunately.
All we can do is try. If we don't catch him before he's in Transia, then we will have to take a very stealthy approach into Transia to kind of figure out what he's doing there, if he is meeting with the king, etc. Maybe find a good opportunity to assassinate him within Transia, and then slip out. Because as far as everyone else is concerned, we are still down in my home, south of here. So,
well, let us find.
It's not like we assassinated him because we weren't there.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
The other option, guys, is you could just try to guess a due east route and try to split the difference between those two routes. It's cutting mostly across the snowy plains of central Mulovia. You would expect maybe a couple villages on the way, maybe, but so that's the other thing. But that's kind of guesswork. But it would be maybe faster, maybe a little faster.
But there are roads leading from Ilia to Transia.
Yeah, basically. And if you go to Mortavia, there's a main road to Ilia and then to Transia, and then it also splits off and heads towards Rusalov, which is where the Black Countess's lands are. Ivana Rusalova.
Yes, perhaps.
So I don't know that we're going to go all the way down to Mortavia. That's too far.
Yeah, or you could maybe try to cut off the corner and hit Ilia more directly. But again, that would be some good. Either it'd be a lore roll to know local landmarks, or a good survival check for a good sense of direction.
Well, I will try the lore roll on that, but I think we should just try to make a direct route to Ilia and then take the road from Ilia to Transia and cut out Mortavia altogether.
All right.
I will assist you with the lore.
All right.
Oops.
And unfortunately, you're not quite in your domain. Oh dear God.
That's a plus. I have a plus. I keep forgetting to add. That's 11 total for me. But
all right, or you can, since it's low, you can make your own roll and you take the highest. I keep forgetting my own. The actual published rules is that if two PCs help each other, you both roll and take the highest. But if it's just like an NPC, like helps you, you just get a +1. But
Ivanovich did a little better.
Oh, all right, which I guess kind of makes sense. Yeah, Ivanovich, you think from here, let's see, northern part of the Raven Mist Forest. Yeah, you just cut north of Mortavia, across the plains, and you should be able to hit the road right before Ilia, or maybe come right on upon Ilia directly. And you think that would be about Ilia is about 20 miles from here, you think?
If we book it, we can be there mid-afternoon.
Let's go.
All right.
Make it.
Abigail's going to ride Ivanovich's horse. Because
Ivanovich is going to make sure that happens.
All right. Do you leave Abigail's horse, or do you tether it behind?
No, we tether it.
Okay. Okay. Are you guys setting a force march?
A brisk pace, yes.
All right. Well, you know what that entails, Madison.
Well, she's riding with me.
That's why I'm riding his horse, so I don't have to do that roll.
So everybody make an animal handling check, except for Madison doesn't have to. She can make a passenger roll. Annoying passenger roll. Are we there yet? I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Drago hits the minimum DL. Glev is like a pro. Ivanovich, more of a pro.
Before they leave, Drago is going to. So we start our fire, but also he's going to collect his skulls from the ghost fence, and he's going to cut off the hand of the Drua and stuff it in his bag.
Yeah.
The Slua, sorry.
Yeah, the pale white hand with long black nails.
Nice.
All right.
This will be good for a spell I've been learning about.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's a special ritual component for something, I believe. Or is it?
Summon plague.
Yeah.
What is
Makes
it?
sense.
Summon plague, but that's
Oh, ooh,
for
that one.
for a future session.
Is that for Transia? If Transia doesn't comply,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Just
You all
that would kill a lot of people if it were, or at least make a lot of people sick. Because
hey,
it has if you do the high version of it, it's like a half mile
Yeah,
area effect, I believe.
half-mile square.
Yeah, which is
I,
about
one,
half of
that's
Transia.
one way. That's one
if I
way
do an
to win
animal,
a war,
if I
folks.
do an animal sacrifice of it, I can double that area and double the duration.
Basically, cover all of the city at that point. Just
Aim
about
it
all.
on the army, like wherever they like their living quarters are. Just aim it there, and then we're good.
Yeah.
And
So
we'll have Mulovia.
so you set a pretty good pace. Drago lags behind a few times, but manages to kind of hang in there. Rado is kind of egging him on, and so after a couple of hours, have to roll something here. Oh, all right. So far, so good. You travel for about 2 hours. You're way out of the mountains at this point. You're kind of east, way down into the Mulovian countryside, kind of the plains area that Central Molovia is known for. And what happened to my Zoom? You guys still there?
I'm
Okay,
here.
Still here.
it just blipped all of a sudden for no apparent reason. All right, so and if you look at the top, so I'll basically show you guys where. Do you see the red square at the top of the Roll20 page?
Oh, yep.
Duh.
Yeah, I'm kind of
That
clicking near
us?
it. So that's kind of where the encampment was. Wait, that's not
Okay.
right. No, that is right. And so I'm trying to get it to move. Oh, there it goes. Ah, Roll20 is being Roll20. It shows you that you can move it and then it doesn't do it. So anyway, uh, see this? Yeah, I don't know why I'm using this map. This map is horribly inaccurate. This published map. It's about 50% accurate. So
That's kind of accurate.
yeah, yeah. So you press on for oh dear. So you travel for about 5 hours, and after 5 hours, you hit you come upon a road, even though it's pretty thick snow, but you can see that there are horse tracks in it, even footprints from maybe a few hours ago. People traveling east to west. Actually, it kind of runs southwest to northeast. But with that last roll, Ivanovich would know that if you take the road east from here or northeast, it should bring you to Ilya within the next 3 to 5 miles.
Duh. Right. We are very close to Ilya, and we can it's not a very big town. It's a little small place, but we should be able to gain supplies and then keep moving. I don't think we should stay in Ilya tonight, although it would be nice. But if we are trying to beat somebody, we should beat somebody.
That makes sense.
But I will entertain my party.
Yes.
You are very
What you need is important to the in the goal, as it were.
Just realized I haven't eaten dinner yet.
What is dinner? I just had an Oreo cookie.
He said the needs of the party, Mike, not the GM.
I have enough for food in the grave. Wait, that made no sense. Unless you're a vampire.
What time did you say that we're arriving there?
Well, it was 5 hours for the ride to where we're at now. So wouldn't that be like noon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right at it. Right at noon.
So,
Right at noon.
no need for rest, but let us stock up on supplies.
Duh.
All right.
Get some horse rations.
All right. Just before all that, as you're now within 3 to 5 miles of Ilya, as mentioned, you I'm trying to find it in the book here. Where is it at? Right there. Oh dear. Oh, okay. One more roll. All right. So it looks like you've kind of gotten ahead of the cold front of that weather. It is still getting kind of cold in the area, but you left it behind in the mountains for the most part. However, as you approach, you get on the road, you travel for another half hour or so, which in the speed you're going is a good 5 or 6 more miles, and you could see Ilya in the distance. I mean, you could literally see buildings with sloped roofs, very Mulovian, anti-snow architecture, and just has like a little palisade around it and a ditch around it. I think you guys have actually come through here before for some reason. I feel like you have, but anyway, as you see that in the distance, just half a mile away, you also notice. Oh dear.
He said "oh dear" quite a few times.
Don't like oh dear.
Sub charts I have to look at here. All right, so cool. You see what appears to be a beleaguered army, a small army of warriors on the road, and they are heading your way. They're actually on the muddy, snowy path that you've been following for the last half hour. So what do you do? A lot of them are dressed in black armor. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot in Molovia because a lot of nobles put their troops in black armor, and the Black Lions have black armor.
Can we tell from this distance? Can we see any insignia or war banners or anything like that?
Perception rolls if you want to do that.
Percepciones. I'm assuming sight, not smelling.
Specialty? Yes. You smell the banners from 200 yards away.
You smell like a teen spirit.
I detect teen spirit. Drago gets a 20. Abigail may actually literally smell the banners from 200 yards.
It's like elf smelling.
Wow. Everybody. So you guys are on it. You're paranoid. So you look ahead. The good news is all of you notice, even with even the low 22, the quote low unquote, you can see that there is a tattered banner of what appears to be a 3 ravens on a white field, which is House von Mulov. So possibly some of your father's troops.
Why are they coming south from Transia? Or Ilya, but further on Transia? Why are they coming south from here?
Yep, they're headed your way, as far as you can tell, unless it's enemy troops that have captured the banner. But
you could use
I'm not going to identify myself because this is outside of what I give a shit about right now.
But they could also help us.
They could have information.
Abigail and Ivanovich, you actually notice a couple of shields that have a black lion insignia on a gray field.
They've been hired by my father. I'm wondering, my sister was still at home though, so I don't think she went to Transia, not her personal guard.
It's about 22 of them.
It's too much for her guard. She would only travel with like half of that.
They could assist us in our task with Von Glanovich if you use your commanding station.
They could.
But the idea is to take Von Glanovich by surprise and stealthily, as though we weren't even there.
Good point.
Taking him with 20 people kind of defeats that purpose.
But if we had if we have a mini army of 20 people, it might make it a little easier for us.
As you get closer, you can all tell that some of them are wounded. You see bandages, splints on an arm.
They have not won the war, which means they are not a very good army. They did survive.
They look kind of beleaguered. About half are mounted, the other half are on foot. Even one or two of the horses.
I say we leave them to it.
Do we not
long march home, and when they get there, they're going to need to fight. So
I was going to say, if you don't want to identify yourself, I would like to ask them questions as we pass. We don't have to linger long.
You can.
They don't appear to have noticed you now, but it's probably just a matter of a few seconds, unless you want to hide.
Well,
No, I'm
then
not
you
hiding,
should.
but I'm covering up any of my own insignia.
Okay.
All right.
I'm folding my cloak over so that the insignia is not showing.
All right.
All right.
I will make sure I take the lead in the front and prepare to ask questions.
Okay, they continue on very slowly, and within about 10 seconds, you can just tell by the upturned faces of several of the men up front that they notice you. They don't really say
Hail,
anything.
troops.
Hmm?
Who is leading this party, troops?
All right, I guess when you get close enough,
Yeah.
get about 50 yards or so, one of them looks up immediately, sort of taking command, and I'm sir. Who are you, sir?
I am Glev Ravenov. I work for the house Mulov. What has happened? Where do you come from and why do you look so beleaguered?
Oh, you are a priest. I'm not Mulovian,
Yes.
forgive me. I'm from the company of the Black Lions.
Ah,
Lord
I
Von
see you.
Mulov has hired us, and we have came a few weeks ago. I'm afraid we were routed by the enemy troops. It hurts to admit.
Whose troops could do this? You are mighty warriors.
Whose troops? You hired us to be at war with the Von Glanoviches, yes?
Ah, so you attacked Von Glanovich, or who instigated the attack? Was it Von Glanovich or yourselves?
We were defending the lands, my lords, and they came at us from a flank. There's about 50 of them.
50. Did you see Lord Von Glanovich himself with them?
I did not, but he could have been hidden. I don't know. Maybe he's a coward. Maybe he's not.
I see. And you're heading back to the Mulov Castle now, eh? Von Mulov Castle.
Who rides with you, my lord, if I might ask?
These are my compatriots. I'm trying to think of a name.
My name is Sebastian. My name is Sebastian Xerxes.
Hey.
Really? You're Pridonian now. Make a
This is going to be bad. I don't even know why I did that.
persuasion bluffing specialty. Drago.
Hey.
All right. I'm rolling physical dice. Too lazy. All right. I mean, they don't say anything against that. Not sure if they're convinced, but nobody says anything.
The rest of the names are not important. We are going to Transia. As you may have heard, that Lord Ivanovich is part of the Blood Disciples now.
Speaking of which, last I heard from my lord was that his son, Ivanovich, has been away from the castle for a few days. That's why I was asking, my lord.
Yes, I plan to meet him. So that's why I must continue on. But I wish you safe journey and thank you for serving Castle von Mulov.
But before you leave, my lord, could you farm me it for me to beg of such thing, being a black lion captain and all that? But several of my men are quite hurt. Anything you could do? Maybe the lady there could help or something. Or
Certainly
whatever
puts
his
them out
name
of their
was.
misery.
I could, if you gather the most wounded around me, I could try to heal some.
Very well, my lord. Forgive. It'll be quickly. You, and you. And he starts pointing at some of the more wounded. Lieutenant, bring those two right there. Yes, excellent. No, not the bloody horses. The horse can die well enough. And they start dragging. There's like 7 or 8 that are really like critically injured. 2 of them are unconscious. They've been kind of propped up on the back of horses.
Okay, I will try to do my area of heal wounds on them.
All right. So not a ritual, I guess. Just a regular.
Yeah, we don't have time for We don't have time for a ritual, so I will try to do. All
He
right,
kind
here
of
we go.
stared at
Roll.
you could tell he was probably asking more for mundane healing. So when you start speaking sorceric words, he he looks a little more worried. Like, what poor decision have I made?
I just made the deal. It's a 15. Yeah, I rolled 70.
That would heal 2 points to each the 6 people around you, or 7 people. So it spell obviously works, not very powerfully. Being sorcery and all, nobody really overreacts. They're like, fine, as long as I get wounded. As long as I get, not wounded, injured, not injured. Oh, there's a kitty.
Meow.
Hi, kitty. I don't know why I'm waving. The cat's like, what? Look like a miniature lynx, like a Mulovian lynx. I thank you, my lord. A couple other men. I thank you. I did not expect it to be a mystical healing, my lord, but here, this is the best I can do. This is for next time you pray to your god of death. And one soldier tries to offer you 2 silver pieces.
I thank him, and I will give it to the. I will make sure it goes to Anorak service.
Yeah, don't know much about your god, but aye. Another guy tries to give you 8 bronze pieces. I'm sorry, that's all I have, my lord. I'm from Brithia, very far away.
Keep your bronze.
She hears that, she's like, no. She just like sinks slower to the saddle.
What's your renown, Abigail?
6.
6. Okay. If he recognizes you, he's certainly not saying anything or making an indication that he does.
She shouldn't be well known, but it still is like, oh no.
Yeah, it's a 6. It's not that particularly well known. All right. So he keeps his coinage, and
we can keep going then.
They can continue on. Thank you, my lord priest. Whatever your title is, I'm not from Lovia. From Kimrith, far to the west.
Safe journey, and heal well.
These men are from the west. Thank you. Next time we'll hopefully do a bit better. We've been summoned to the garrison, though. We're supposed to garrison the castle.
Protect it well. We will try to return as quickly as we can.
Very well. So, I'm confused. So you have come from the castle.
Sorry, I am eating. We had some adventures, but we do plan to return to the castle as soon as we can.
So you have been there, of course. Safe journeys. So they
will lean towards Ivanovich, and she says, should we warn them where Glanovich is going so they can tell the castle, your father?
That might be a good idea. It would also be good to warn them that they will be coming up to the backside of an army that is sieging the castle, and if they come up upon it quietly, they might be able to take an advantage. I say that very whispery to Abigail.
Okay. By the way, as you're saying that, Ivanovich, you recognize at least 5 of these men are actually soldiers, oath sworn to your father. They're not Black Lions. They're just mixed unit, probably. And they don't seem to have recognized you yet.
I'm tucked deep into my cowl, man. My hood is way up. It's so sunny outside.
Make a disguise check then. Disguise skill roll.
So
what is it going to be? What is there?
Oh, not so good.
I'm back, but the green thing is doing this thing again.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. All right.
So as they ride off, Ivanovich, you clearly see one of the men oath sworn to your father just kind of nod to you very knowingly, but he doesn't say anything.
Did we tell them? I kind of missed that last few.
Oh, so I whisper back to you. I was like, it would be good to let them know that the castle is being sieged. And if they come up quietly, they might be able to take advantage of the army that is sieging the castle. And it would be good to give them the information about Von Glanovich, because knowing where he is going might change some things for my father.
And it's about that time as when the young soldier nods to you knowingly.
I do not return the nod. I continue whispering, I finish the whisper to Abigail, and then I start to move closer to Glev, because I'm assuming Abigail wants to tell that to Glev so that Glev can then relay that, unless she wants to just tell it to the team.
Otherwise, they're moving on at a slow trudge.
Yeah, she wants to go over to Glenn. She doesn't want to talk to people.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So that's why I rode up to the edge of Glev so that she can lean over and tell him to explain that to them.
And I say,
so you tell me that.
Yes.
This is a good idea. I will circle back. I will turn around to the whoever's nearby and convey this to them. By the way, you seem to serve von Mulov. Be aware that the castle is under siege, but if you come sneakily from behind, you may be able to take advantage there.
Yes.
And if you get through, tell Lord von Mulov that Von Glanovich is heading towards Transia, and I'm trying to track him.
Very good. Glev, by the way, your secret is safe. I know that my lord travels with you.
We thank you for your discretion.
Of course.
You serve the house well.
Thank you. I do not trust all of these black lions. Many of them are foreigners. They do not understand our affairs.
Did they not fight as fiercely as we've heard about these black lions?
They did what they could. I expected more. And suddenly one of the black lions shouts at him, "You there, quit lagging." I must be going, my lord.
All right,
I'll convey the message.
Please.
Do you know how close? What is the time frame you speak of?
When they were sieging the castle, it was a couple days ago now, right?
Yeah.
They would have arrived.
2 to 3 days.
Yeah. So hopefully the castle is held. It might be about 2 days. So
I do not know. We were routed, and I am coming. We are routed, and that is why we are so far east. They led us around a different way. I suppose I must trust these black lions. I don't know. They know the art of war.
Hopefully they figure this out. Maybe you can use the element of surprise and Andorak be with you.
And with you. Hopefully I'll not see him for a few years. Good day.
Agreed.
He is catching up with them. He's the guy carrying the beleaguered banner, tattered banner of House von Mulov. And your left, the horses took a good chance to stop being lathered and catch their breath, because you guys are riding them pretty hard.
Good. A few minutes for the horse, and now we move on. We'll make it to Ilya very soon.
Okay. Do you approach Ilya, or are you going to just go around it?
No, we're going in. We're getting supplies.
Okay. It's just a half a mile away now. You can smell it. Smoke fires already. So 10 minutes trot, you're at the palisade walls. You do notice there are militia at the walls. You can tell that Ilya has picked up that there is something of a war in the area, even though it's mostly west of them. But
right.
Who comes? Calls a guard from one of the wooden gatehouses.
I would let Glev announce his arrival as the high priest. I will still try to stay unknown.
Glev is falling off his horse.
Has turned into a chair.
Yes. He is trying new magics, is what it is. He's
Ah.
become his own saddle.
Not only can he shape-shift into beast, now apparently inanimate object.
That's right.
I would say that would be life magic, but in this case, it might be death. He has returned.
Sorry, I heard all that. Yes.
Yes.
I was
Oh, look,
I
he's
was
no longer a
meditating.
saddle.
Oh,
All right, so they called out, I will call back. I say, I am a high priest of Andarak, and we seek some supplies.
Of course, open the gate. I hear some complaining. It's a high priest of the Winter Lord. Open the gates. They open up.
so nice to have a high priest traveling with you.
Right?
I'm a rock star.
That's right.
Yeah.
A couple of guards kind of greet you. They're mostly just probably regular, in good shape male townsfolk that are just carrying spears. It's basically just militia. And
as we come in, I will ask him, where can we get rations for our horses and perhaps food for ourselves?
My lord, I can probably give you some from the barracks if you want, but if you need more than just that, I would say further down into the town square, there's you can find such provisions.
I thank you. You keep yours. We'll procure our own.
Very well. I must warn you, there was military men, soldiers in here recently, and they demanded much of the foodstuffs and the feed for the horses. They just left recently, actually.
Well, we passed them. Was it the soldiers from House von Mulov?
Yeah, perhaps they had lions on much of their equipment. There might have been another banner. I'm not sure.
Yes, their ranks were supplemented by the Black Lions, so I think we passed them.
So the rumors are true. There is civil war to the west of us. Can you speak on it?
Skirmish.
Yeah, there was a skirmish. I don't know. Civil war might be exaggeration, but there were some skirmishes. So
forgive, I did not mean to assume. Anyway, let's make it out of your way.
Thank you, sir.
You steps out of your way.
Should we find some arrows for us?
Good
Okay.
sir, do you know where we could procure some arrows as well?
Turns back around. Arrows. Yes, there is a bowyer and Fletcher just down the street on the left, right before you get to the town square. Elia is not very big town.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you guys continue trudging in the main path, which is basically just the main east to west thoroughfare, about 12 shops down, there is a Bowyer Fletcher.
Do we pass any feed stores / places where we could gather rations?
A little further down, yeah, there's a place you can purchase such.
So it's beyond the Fletcher.
Brought in from the farmsteads. Yeah, a little further down.
So we'll stop at the Fletcher first.
All right. Nobody's in there. Not much is going on. And the Fletcher himself, who has a young apprentice, probably his son, is immediately apologetic. He's like, if you're here for arrows, my friends, I'm afraid many of them have been taken, but I do have a few left. I'm short on bows as well. What?
Whatever you have, we would be grateful for.
Almost all of the war arrows are gone. I do have a few hunting arrows for a hunting bow, or you might call short bow. I have a score of war arrows left, longbow arrows.
How much?
I'm afraid that would have to be a bit more than normal. Forgive. I would need the gold piece, 10 silver pieces. It's all I have left.
For how many?
But make 10 per day. 20 a score.
10 for me, 10 for you.
Drago just takes a gold coin and flips it to him.
He takes it and thank you, my lord. Yes, take the quiver also. Yes. Do you need anything else, my lady, my lord? I all the longbows are gone. I have two short bows, and I'm working on one right now.
I believe that's all we can have if that's all the long bow arrows you have.
I can make more on the commission, but I can only turn out about 10 per day is my record.
Unfortunately, we don't have the time.
we no.
Of course, of course. Well, you know what I am. Good day.
Abigail's going to give you 5 silver for if you split the 20 with her.
Da.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Ivanovich is waiting on the horse outside.
All right.
She
not a
turns
lot
to
of
the
townspeople.
shopkeeper actually, and she'll ask, by the way, is there a herbalist in town? Someone that
Oh, that I'm not sure. I must roll something. Well, so there kind of at the edge of town there is a woman, a wise woman we call her. She is herbalist, but also she might be a witch. If that frightens you, perhaps you should not go there. But they say
that
she
is
was once
fine.
a priestess of Androck, but I do not think there is such a thing. She practices mystic craft on her own. That is why she is a witch.
Very well. You said near the edge of
North,
town?
yes, just outside the gates. She prefers to live alone out that way.
Very
It's
well.
a hut, you cannot miss it. Has big chicken legs, it moves around. No, I'm kidding.
Baba Yaga, I know her very well. Thank you very much. And she's going to turn to Drago, and she says, I'm going to see if I can gather some more white lotus, just in the event we need it.
It's a good idea.
I know that the rest of our party needs horse feed. If anyone wants to accompany me, they can. Otherwise, I'll just go myself.
Don't go by yourself. Someone should go with you. I can procure the.
Yeah, Ivanovich will go with her if she does not come. If she comes out and starts going off on her own, Ivanovich will not let that happen.
All right, I will get the feed with Drago.
All right.
Shall we meet? We're going east from here. What way are we exiting town? Shall we meet at the east gate or
East.
Northeastern side?
yes, whatever the northeastern exit from this town is. We will meet there.
Very well.
Is good.
Okay, so at the gates proper, not like further out.
Yeah, at the gates.
Okay, yeah.
At the hot gates.
All right, the hot gates. All right, so Abigail and Ivanovich go that way. Drago's chilling with Glaive, probably. So first thing, the thing that really kind of happens in the next few minutes is Glaive. You notice there's no Temple of Androck probably here. There is a shrine dedicated to the Winter Lord in the middle of the town plaza, which is just an unpaved, muddy opening with a well and a statue of a man wearing a 9-pointed crown, and at his foot is a wolf, statue of a wolf, and then there's a altar in front of it. Basically a shrine. You're not sure who the figure's supposed to be, unless it's supposed to be Androck in human form. But could also be one of the past Mulovian kings or something.
I was going to say, have I seen anything like this before?
Make a lore roll.
Okay. Yeah, just to see if. All right. Come on. It is coming. I get 1 to the third plus 5. We roll 16.
Okay, you're pretty sure it's the statue of Baron Reingard, who is kind of the ruler of this of Ilya and probably small provincial area around it.
Was he ever known to possess the blood crown?
No, I mean, it could just represent any crown, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the fact that it's a 9-pointed crown is a little unusual for a baron to be wearing. That's usually the number of spires that might be in a king or an emperor's. But but yeah. So what you know about him is that he apparently uses goblins as allies from time to time, and apparently he's half Scythian. You can probably tell by his name, Reingard. And so, in some ways, he's not that popular in Mulovia because of those two reasons.
Yeah. Well, let me take some notes on that. Goblins. He's a goblin user.
His heraldic colors are black and green.
Reingard. Goblins. All right. I will. Can I see if there is a rat or a bird or some animal I can sacrifice on the altar for Andorok?
Yeah, I mean, make a survival immediately. I mean, Radu is very close at hand.
No, not that kind of bird. Not me, not me.
Wow, that sucks.
All right. Come on.
Perception or survival?
17.
All right.
I did survival.
Okay, so that's to look for tracks or see if you can figure out what might be in the area downtown here. Maybe some rats. So 17,
yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rat, there is a couple of ravens perched on a rooftop nearby of one of the shop. Oh, actually, one of the only inn in town. So there is that. And then you also see some little tracks in the snow that clearly is a rat that's probably hiding in an alleyway between a couple of buildings that scurried through here recently.
I will go seek out the rat to sacrifice.
All right, you track the rats down. And 17, right? That's actually enough to snatch it. Within about a minute, you find it, and there's a little bit of a scuffle. But Glev barely against the small rat.
Yeah.
What a sacrifice.
Yes.
We won't play out
say a few
rat.
Yeah, exactly. I cast magic missile. Oh, I mean,
at the darkness.
Mental torment.
So
yes.
It's definitely not a noble beast. It's not a very worthy sacrifice, but it is something.
Yes, it will do, and I will say my prayers and promise Andorok a more worthy sacrifice later. So.
Okay. All right. So, I don't know how long you spend. Just a quick time. I guess.
Like a 10-15 minutes, and I will apologize. So I will tell Drago to pardon me. I have to do this. It has been a while since I paid homage to Andorok.
There were several people walked by during your sort of ritual.
All right, friend. Perhaps
definitely don't bother you.
Feed while you're doing that.
Ah, good. I will catch up with you after.
Meanwhile, so wait, Drago's catching up with. Where's Drago headed?
He's just gonna go get the feed for the horses.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's actually very, very nearby.
Yeah.
A local provisioner selling feed and even food for like a couple of exotic animals like wolfhounds and stuff. But you notice he doesn't have a lot of horse feed either. And he complains the same thing that some soldiers kind of cleared about 80% of his product out. I'm very sorry. Soldiers came through with the gray lions or whatever they're called. Bastards.
So I hear, my friend. Do you have any at all that is left?
I mean, who fights a war in the middle of winter? What a bunch of idiots. I will get more in. I mean, the farms are not producing anymore, obviously, so it will be a while.
So you do not have any at the moment?
But I will sell you what I have left, but I'm afraid it will be expensive.
So I hear. What do you ask?
I know you're not surprised. How much do you wish? I have probably enough for 1 day for 30 horses. 10 days for 3 horses. You do the math.
Perhaps we will part with just we'll say 16 days worth, or 4 days for 4 horses.
So that's about half of what I have, if not a bit more. Very well. He starts bagging it up and preparing it. And let me see. Yes. Very well. That I'm afraid that will cost you 40 pieces of silver or 4 golden coins if you have that.
I will give you 3.
Okay, make a persuasion. Bargaining specialty or intimidation.
This is not Drago's specialty.
No, it is
Intimidation,
not.
I guess.
Hey.
Hey,
-2.
with a -2. Not
All
bad.
right. You come across bargaining a little more diplomatic than you thought, or maybe you're a little more intimidating than you thought, and it actually worked. In any case, he's like, like 32 is the most I can go.
Duh. And he pulls out 32 silver coins.
Very well. I suppose I could deal with 2 children not surviving the winter instead of only the one. Here you go. He has +10 in guilt trip.
Oh.
Yeah. And you
Are you Jewish? No.
I don't like Druish.
Druish.
Druidish.
All right, so you clear out what he claims is the rest of his provisions. And
by the time he's done, I assume I catch up with him, and
it's about
and I will hand him back 1 gold piece or 10 silver just for chipping in to share it with him. To you, Drago.
Duh. Thank you, my friend. I got us 4 days worth of rations for a horse.
That will be good. Hopefully, by then we either find someplace else or we get back to Mulovian.
Duh.
Meanwhile, Abigail, you exited the east gate, right?
Yes, towards the witch's hut with Ivanovich.
Okay. Riding that way. So you don't immediately see this so-called hut out there. You can make a perception roll though if you want to look about.
Yes, I shall.
Right.
On 25.
Ooh. You look about 5 seconds and you're like, oh, there it is. There's a hut. Plus you kind of smell like some weird smoke in the air. And you can track it down to in a copse of trees about a third of a mile from the edge of town. So 250, 300 yards. You can see there's a hut kind of in the middle. It looks more like a woodcutter's hut, but there's a bunch of dried herbs hanging from the doorway. There's like a horseshoe hanging up there. There's all sorts of like folklore, fairy, magical objects kind of hanging, as well as dried herbs. And a weird smell coming out of the chimney.
Yes, horseshoes, if my fairy knowledge is correct, that is to keep away the fae. Correct?
Yes. Yep. You also notice 2 skulls right at the there's just like a single stone step leading up. 2 skulls that have runes and stuff painted on them. They look very similar to ghost fence skulls.
This witch does not want anyone to bother her, it seems. Especially not fae. And
I wonder how she feels about vampire.
Perhaps let me do the talking, though my ears might not help. So she's gonna go up to the border of ghost fence, but she's not gonna like step over it.
Okay.
And she is gonna yell, "Excuse me, is anyone in there?"
Mulovian, I take it.
Yes.
All right.
Ivanovich is close behind. I have gotten off the horse, and I have. If there's any place to hitch the horse, I will have hitched it, but
Just a couple of trees.
I will hitch it to a tree.
All right. There's also a tree stump with an axe stuck in it, kind of out front. So after about 30 seconds of calling out, finally this door kind of creaks open, and you see looks like a young boy actually at the door. Yes, what is it? My grandmother is busy. What is it?
I was told that I could buy some herbs from this hut.
And he just suddenly slams the door, and it sounds like you hear a voices talking in the background, and then the door opens about 10 seconds later. Yes, come in, come in.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, what?
It seems that you have some sort of barrier. Is it all right to cross?
My grandmother's magic. Does not work in the day. Come.
Oh, interesting. And she's gonna cross.
All right, yeah, nothing happens. But once you get to the threshold of the door, just kidding. Is Ivanovich going in also?
I will be coming behind her, yes.
Okay. Ivanovich, when you get to the door, you can see little trinkets of silver hanging, some that are probably cold iron. There's garlic. There's a couple of animal skulls, mostly raven skulls. But whatever it is, something feels like it's compelling you a little bit or repelling you. To come inside, you feel like you need it to a force of will.
Very well.
And a resolve skill roll.
That's all right. I have a specialty in turning. Or anti-turning.
Yeah, so that would apply.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you're like, whatever. You just kind of like brush by the trinkets.
Yes. I look at them. I go, aren't these fancy? Look at how cute these are. Hey, look at this little thing. It's all look how precious that is.
The little boy sort of looks up. Do not worry. This is my grandmother's. I do not believe in such things, but grandmother, they're here. And this older woman kind of comes through, sort of bony and not quite as old as old Nadia from Rogue's Hollow, but she's definitely up there. Yes, my friends, I see you have come into my abode. I have invited you willingly, by the way.
I appreciate
that. For herbs or something like that.
Yes, I was wondering if you had any white lotus by any chance.
White lotus. The snow lotus. I'm afraid I do not.
That's a shame.
'Tis. I have fairy wort, however. I have no other magical lotuses that I know of. I have mushroom poison. And I have maiden's blood, yes.
Yeah. I forget, what does fairy... Can I do a lore or like a alchemist to remember what fairy wort does?
Yeah, herbalism.
Okay.
Skill.
Right. Is it a poison?
Herbalism.
I get a specialty if it is.
I'll secretly apply it if it is.
Cool. Is that the roll?
Oh, it's 12?
Yeah, 12.
It may actually be DL 12. Let me see. DL 12. I think it's 15 actually, but right quick. Fairy wort. Oh yeah. 12. Oh, DL 12 to identify. Yeah, you're just like, wait a minute, I have heard of this. It's not a poison, so you didn't get a 13, but you still got a 12, which is enough. So it's on page 144, but basically it is associated with the other world or the fairy realm. It only blooms typically in spring or midsummer. So if she does have it, it would probably be dried. And if you make a tea light, you have to have a silver plated or crystal pot, and you can make a tea light tincture that's capable of granting +2 stamina and +2 bonus to all perception skill rolls for the next hour. That's what people say. It can be used to detect portals into the other world.
So +2 stamina and +2 perception?
Yeah, for an hour.
Okay.
Basically enhances the senses and yeah.
Yes, actually, that would be wonderful if I could take that fairy wart off of your hands. Um,
I have 2 sprigs of this fairy wort.
oh,
Do you wish both or just the one?
how much would both cost?
Always the question, is it not? Let's see here. How much did it require for me to make? Trying to look. It says nothing. What a crappy written book. Let's. What do you have to offer other than coins?
Other than coins?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you would like to trade?
What do you have?
Um,
Do you have deadly nightshade?
oh, I have actually 3.
Indeed. Hey, all 3, and I give you both sprigs of the fairy wort.
Do I know if that's a good deal?
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good, actually. A fairy wart's a little rarer than nightshade.
Yeah, I haven't been using my nightshade. So, yep, she'll trade the nightshade for the fairy wart.
Which means the next encounter will require deadly nightshade.
I
Just like
mean,
when Magus was missing, it's like suddenly everybody needed fire for.
she has quite a few things. She'll list some things she has. Like she has 4 hemlocks. She has a mandrake root.
She looks impressed.
She has holy water.
I
So
do not
that
believe in the powers of holy water. Depends on the religion.
I believe it's for Andorok. Someone said that you might be a high priestess of Andorok or a witch.
No, I am not.
I assumed the latter.
I studied on my own the ways of sorcery and death and life. Soon enough, death will come for me, for I am in my 70s. Speaking of which, let us speed this up.
All right, so she'll give the 3 nightshade for, you said 2 fairy wart.
I also have a witch root elixir.
Should I roll to know what that is?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah. Is that herb still?
Yeah, there's no alchemy in this thing, so it's all herbalism.
Cool.
Which root?
Goodness me. It's only a 10.
Only a 10. You have no idea what you've never really heard of it.
It's not related to witch's spittle, is it?
No, it is not. It is a root-like herb, and it grows only in the coldest winter and the warmest summer. So this time of year in Mulovia, it is perfectly grown. You can brew an elixir of it in a cold iron cauldron, and it will produce a tincture that enhances all of your magical powers if you know such.
In other words, +1 to all magic cards roll. All of them. So.
Nice.
It also increases your vigor, your stamina. If you want it, I will trade for. You listed some other things. I forget.
So I also have some poisons. Poison skin contact, poison ingested. I also have Maiden's Blood, and witch's spittle. I have a disappearance potion, but that's quite costly to make. So you might have to offer me a few more things if you want that.
I see. How about I give you the witch root elixir and my grandson for the potion of disappearance.
She just looks at her with a blank stare. She looks at her and then looks at the grandson to see if she can jog a reaction from him.
Okay. The boy just looks kind of like oblivious to what's being said, or maybe he's used to him being thrown into a bargain.
Is your boy special by any chance?
All life is special. This boy even more so. He was born with a gift. He sees things even better than I do before they happen. If you believe in such things. He was a gypsy boy. I think that is where he acquired the gift. Not mine by blood, but by fosterhood.
I believe, though it's a tempting offer, where we're going is not suitable for a boy.
I see. I would ask where you are going, but it is ultimately none of my business. We are all going to the same place after all.
You could also try to see my future.
I cannot.
Then I will give you the answer. Not you, the boy, but nevertheless. So you don't have any life elixirs that have White Lotus in it?
I do not, I'm afraid. I am sorry.
That is fine.
No, Lotus.
So you had the Witch's Root elixir. I've already traded my Nightshade for your Fairy Wart.
Indeed. I do have one last thing. You speak of a potion of disappearance, yes?
Yes.
If it is truly an enchanted elixir, I have an elixir that I have made with my own craft that I will trade for you if you wish. Once I find it in the book. There it is. You may find it especially useful. You may speak to the dead once they have parted from the world. Drink the potion and you may speak the death speech.
Unfortunately, 2 of my party members can do that.
You travel with powerful people, or fools. Often they are the same.
Agreed.
Ivanovich grins.
She notes that, actually. Are you wearing the blood red armor?
No
Okay.
No armor. But I definitely grin at they're either powerful or stupid.
She shoots you this glance, like, yeah, a distasteful look, but that says nothing.
You keep
just look at her with a smirk,
my lady. You keep strange company.
I agree. But I like it that way.
So be it. Enjoy your life while it lasts.
She like she's about to say that won't be long, probably. But yeah, she'll.
You wish to trade?
Well, unfortunately, I think my disappearance potion is worth more than your Witch's Root elixir, unless you throw in another one of your maiden's bloods.
Either that, or I give you the potion for but the lock of your hair. A very simple gift. Elixir is all of yours. All I need is a lock of hair. It will grow back in time.
Oh, I know that. Can I have a lock of your hair?
Make persuasion roll if you're serious.
Yeah, she's actually serious. Except my persuasion is also bad.
Drago pulled it off.
13.
Okay. She just kind of laughs, and it's almost like she doesn't think you're actually being that serious.
Of course not.
All right.
What would you want with an old lady's hair? Sure you do not wish the boy. He's been with me long enough. needs to be around younger people or other boys, but not around some people. And she looks at Ivanovich specifically.
Ivanovich, do you want to adopt a child?
Not particularly. Not at this time. Maybe in the future.
When you say that, the
Maybe in
boy
the
actually
future.
kind of backs off into the old lady, and Mulovian keeps muttering, "He's not alive, grandmother. He's not alive."
I'm quite aware of that. It's all right, boy.
I grin.
You see,
Don't scare the child.
I'm
He's
not
the grin.
scaring any children. I'm not
the frozen
a
skull of
threat
everyone.
to them. Not yet.
I think it is time you both
Okay.
left.
All right, very well. And she'll place the disappearance potion in front of her. Witch's root and maiden's blood. It's a fair trade.
Persuasion.
Especially-
Persuasion roll.
Ah,
Especially since
Nah,
she asked you to
fine.
leave. She looks tempted, but she's like,
I have spoken. It is time that you have left. Well,
fine. I'll just take the witch's root.
now be gone.
all right.
All right.
So do you leave, or do you have any more bargaining to do? Or does Ivanovich
I
have
think
any
that
feeding to do?
I mean, I'm good. I'm satiated so far, but I could eat them if we wanted to.
Yeah, you're still about 3 days out of being
Oh
resolved.
yeah, at least 3 days from needing to eat.
yeah. She'll take what she got and be on her merry way.
Okay. So you ride back in. Well, you guys are going to meet at the easternmost gates, right?
Bah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you guys meet up, probably 10 minutes later, having spent only maybe 30, 40 minutes in Ilya. Hi, baby.
And our GM is frozen with a devilish grin on his face, or at least on my screen.
Am I frozen? Oh, okay.
On my screen, you are.
Yours is
If you're on mine, you are frozen as well.
Just kidding. All
We
right.
can hear you
You
at
guys
least.
fell for it, huh?
At least.
Is a
Was your
fabulous ventriloquism.
Right. Oh,
Did you find the White Lotus, Abigail?
Unfortunately not, but I can now brew some teas that will help our stamina. So there's that.
That is good. Drago acquired
Make 'em
4
in
days'
handy.
rations for all our horses, and I was able to make sacrifice to Andarak.
Good. Horses have rations. We've got time. I think it is
Our GM.
wow.
We have lost the Zika.
Yeah.
He has returned.
I lost all of you for like 30 seconds.
That's okay. We weren't talking about anything of importance.
That's what I thought. All right. So, you guys, what do you do next?
I say we gather up and start heading out,
Hey,
making our way towards Transia.
So from Ilya, if you go, there is a road leading northeast that does ultimately go to Transia. And there's also another road that leads more like due east, all the way out south of the Bay of Ravens in that little peninsula area where Countess Rusalova's province is.
I'd like to travel towards Transia most directly, and then before we get to Transia, go due north to hit the river that leads into Transia so that we can check for tracks to see if Von Glanovich has passed by or if he has not yet come.
Cool. Okay.
yeah, if you think
Right.
that is the best way to track him, yes.
All right. Well, cool. Let's take a break because we probably need a bio break, and I need to round up some dinner. So, audience at home, we're gonna take what do you have, 7 or 8 minutes, maybe?
Duh.
We'll take 8.
7 minutes,
Sounds good.
32 seconds.
7.5. Yes. All right. See you in a bit. Hello, everybody. I've returned. So was Eric.
I'm not really here. This is just a recording.
It just plays on a loop for 10.
I'm not really here. This is just a recording.
I'm not really here. It's just a recording.
I'm not really here. It's just a recording. Sounds about right.
How's Misha doing?
She's doing better. I mean, it's still like completely crushing her lungs, but otherwise she's okay.
First time I had COVID, it was very lung intensive for me.
Well, Matt said that he recently had a flu-like thing that was deep in his chest. And that's what this sounds like. And I've actually had several of my patients have the same thing, where they were like, hey, you know, I got the flu, and I was like, okay, well, was it more stomach flu? Was it more in the head? They're like, no, it was all in the chest. It was a horrible cough. I'm like, okay. So that's the current flu that's going through, apparently. No fever, just a major deep cough. So
really?
It's lovely.
That's lovely. So that means it's probably non-viral if there's not a fever, right?
Not necessarily.
The body not trying to burn it off.
Well, if it's a flu has to be viral because that's what it is. Flu is a virus, influenza virus.
Influenza, yeah.
It's likely not bacterial because bacterial usually creates a weirder inflammatory response in the body. So, but viral can be fever and not fever. It can do multiple ways because a viral infection doesn't always trigger a fever. So
very interesting.
Well,
I hope she gets better soon.
Me too.
Sooner rather than later.
Right. It is very difficult with the two little ones, you know.
Yeah. So I was telling Karen, I said the main reason Eric probably has to stay at home is to really do kid duty.
Yeah, and to be there for the difficulty of kid duty, like, you know, when Torben ready to go to bed, when all that stuff. And if you notice me step away from the screen a little bit, was because I had to do that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I like when Torben makes an appearance, though.
I know. He's a fun one. He's a fun one to have an appearance of.
I usually rewatch the live plays.
Mm-hmm.
I'll notice stuff he's doing that I didn't notice while running the game. Sometimes I'm looking at Roll20, I'm not really paying attention to the camera.
Right.
So I'll see like some funny Torben stuff. I'm like, how come I didn't notice that? Like, oh yeah, it's probably staring at Roll20.
You know, reading numbers, moving figures around on screen, that sort of stuff.
All sorts of crap.
Well, the garbage you have to do.
That's right. Plotting and scheming.
That's right.
I got my distances right. So you're at okay. I had to relook at the map. I was like, wait a minute, they're only 6 hours from Transia, and you were Western Molovia, but you're not in the village that I thought you were on the map.
No, different village. Yeah, we're probably what, 2 days out from Transia?
Yeah, I mean, at the pace you're going, yeah, about a day and a half to 2 days.
Okay, sounds about right.
Yeah. If you keep at this pace is probably more like a day and a half.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to try to do.
Kill the horses.
No, the horses won't die from this. They're war horses. They're used to a strong march.
Yep. So also, according to the force march rules, the core rule book that I have, it's like, so after 5 hours is where you spend a stamina point for every hour after. So, you know, the normal travel rate is 10 hours per day.
Right.
So it's basically 5, and then it's 1 stamina after instead of 10, and then 1 stamina after. But It's actually 2 to the horses and 1 to the rider.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, you'll be down 5 stamina probably after a regular 10-hour jaunt.
Right. No, does that get broken up because we stopped within the village for 45 minutes?
What is my rule on that? I think it's like, I mean, that wasn't long enough to get a stamina point back, obviously.
No,
but...
no, no, no. No, I didn't figure that, but does it break up the forced march duration?
So it's assuming that, yeah, most of the day you're doing that pace. So yeah,
Okay.
so 45 minutes is kind of like expected to be kind of added in there at some point.
Okay.
So Madison says, be on in a minute. Oh, there she
Okay.
is. Drago's back. Matt's back, but muted. Eggs.
I understood everything.
Matt
I
was
was
letting us
reading
have it.
lips.
If you read his lips, he was like, some pretty foul stuff. Yeah, see? It's either a spell or some really nasty.
I was speaking ancient Mulovian.
Ah,
Speaking of which, we're literally continue to head east, right? Northeast.
duh,
Following the road, and I think Eric said you might even try to cut it off a bit to try to hit the river before you hit the city.
duh.
Is the kind of the basic way. I wish this map was better at the top of the page. But basically, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just moving this. Dang it. Okay, roll 20. So you're about like here.
Okay. Okay.
You know, not that probably helps very much, but oh, I heard Anisha. And you press on away from Ilya and the witch's hut, and pressing on for quite a while. So you guys are still doing that same pace, right?
Duh.
Force march. All right.
Abigail is still on Ivanovich's horse because not doing those rolls.
Yes. All right. So if everybody could, for the last half of the day, could give me an animal handling. Those of you controlling said animals.
Oh.
Yeah.
That 20.
20 on Drago's.
You might need to help. Oops. I hit the wrong.
42.
Oh my gosh.
24. For those of you new to Savage Kingdoms, a natural 20 explodes, meaning that you roll again and add the result. So often you can get a critical success by doing that.
I think I eked out mine.
Yep, just enough. So Drago gets a critical success. So let me look what that might be for animal handling. So the obvious thing is that you can make better time. So yeah, Drago. So you can cut off basically 2 more hours, but that means you kind of leaving the others behind. Is one.
I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with
the other option
so.
is that if there's a place you want to literally like get to, like a specific place on the river or something, you would totally reach like exactly to that mark. I don't know if
Let's do that.
Okay. I don't know what that might entail, but
Could always go ahead of us if you wanted to, but I don't know if that would be worth it.
That does not seem like a good idea.
No.
the other option, Drago, is that let's see, it would be 5 more stamina. It would only cost you 2 more stamina points for the next 5 hours of riding instead of 5.
All right, well, let's do that then.
Okay. All right, so speaking of which, 5 hours later, it becomes nightfall. You're still on the road. It's still pretty snowy. Everybody has lost 5 stamina for the forced march, except for Drago's only lost 2. just to clarify. And the horses are down 10 points, which I will track. I think that puts them at... Yep, they're staggered.
It is good time to camp then.
Or fatigue, sorry.
Well, let's look for a good defensible or hidden place to camp.
All right. And you're still on the main road, by the way. All right, so survival roll. Whoever's looking for...
Who would like to help?
Drago will look.
I will help.
We are no longer in the forest, are we?
Oh, no,
No,
you're
but we
right.
do have the snow.
Pretty open plains.
Oof, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Got a foot of snow on the ground.
Oh, Drago is doing good.
Actually, it's kind of hills. It's sort of rolling hills. Snowy rolling plains.
All
If
right.
that
I got 22.
Excellent.
15 for me. So.
All right, so Gleb and Ivanovich kind of look, and it's like, oh, that place, I don't know. What about there? I don't know. And Drago's like, look at this. It's an old fortress no one is using. No, I'm kidding. That was a 22. Wasn't a crazy success. So what are you looking for? Defensible or hidden or something else? Drago.
Probably more hidden than defensible, but both would be good, but hidden more important, I think.
Well, with the 22, you kind of find a little bit of both. You find, like I said, it's kind of rolling hills. You find just off the road about 50 yards between a couple of hillocks, there's a little copse of trees there that's pretty well hidden. And also, if you wanted to get on one of the hilltops, it's kind of defensible if it came to battle.
All right.
So, all right.
Perhaps set up camp. Perhaps we should set up camp in these trees here.
This is a good idea.
Looks good to me.
So Drago immediately gets out his sculpts and just starts casting Ghost Fence again.
Okay. Also known as anti-Sluwa spell.
When you crit it.
Right.
Another ritual or just well, it's at least a minute, even the regular casting.
I will do the ritual.
All right, so +2. Actually, you have that one of the special components, right?
I got Bradu and I've got a rune carved femur.
Okay. Because I think Malgus has a special item. That's +3 instead of +2.
28.
Holy crap. All right, so another powerful ghost fence. And you're doing the circumference, right? The higher version.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's even harder to get through than the Sluwa. They had what was it, DL 22?
The first one was 23. When I sacrificed one, it was 30.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. In my little journal, I have DL 30 ghost fence, and I was trying to remember.
Your sacrifice.
As setting up, Abigail will take out this unknown brooch that she still has, that she knows has shadow magic, but she doesn't know what it does. So I'm gonna try to do a roll for it.
Okay, bracelet. Shadow magic.
It's not the repel undead brooch she has. It's another one that she got from the witch from the tavern that almost killed Abigail with that exploding door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. If it helps, she also got a water potion of wintry breath from this same person as well.
Oh, okay. That does help.
If that helps. I don't know if it does.
Is it only shadow magic? All right. So that's what I thought it was. That's the case.
I'm not sure. All I know is shadow is one of them.
Shadow. All right, now I got it. I found it. Okay. Yeah, they were yeah. It wasn't the only type of magic, but that's probably the only one you detected.
It's just a low roll night for me. This is like the 4th 4 in a row, I think.
Well,
So
16 is enough to confirm there is a mystical aura of magic on it. That's shadow magic, but again, you discover nothing else about it.
well,
I mean, actually, you could tell that it's actually air, death, and shadow that you sense.
oh goodness, so many. Could you
Yes.
help me? Could you
Yeah.
try to figure out what this is? There's death magic in it.
Yeah, okay. I will give it a go. So I will, let me see. I get to take. So you said air, death, or shadow, so I could use the highest of either of those to roll.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So death is +8. So here we go. Let us roll that beautiful bean footage. Oh crap! We're not destined to figure this one out.
You
No.
sense no magical auras.
Are you sure this has magic?
I'm sure it does. This is like the third time we've tried to figure what this is.
Apparently, it does not want to be found
Drago,
out.
Drago, come here.
He's like in the middle of
You're
his...
rolling high.
What is it? I am busy.
Ritual.
Oh, never mind. After we're done.
Chanting and tapering. So fortunately, the hour does go by uneventfully. Not uneventful for Drago, but for everyone else.
Oh, speaking of hour going by uneventfully, since we have now traveled for roughly 24 hours since we all took damage from the Slua, would we be healed at least 24 hours worth of health?
Oh yeah, it's definitely been. So one plus your vigor and health points. Return to anyone wounded.
Mm-hmm.
I think is most everybody. No,
I'm all right.
Drago's fine.
That will take me back up to full.
What is that, Matt? 17 or 8?
17.
That's all right. Glanovich is at 21. Drago's at 7.
My full.
Abigail's at 19. And Radu is at 44.
112 Radu.
Jeez. Because he crit successed his roll.
Oh, I mean, 3. What am I saying? There's no way he's a raven demon or something. Well, raven. All right, and the ghost fence goes up. And long story short, I've already checked ahead for random encounters. The entire night goes by uneventfully.
Nice.
Nice, quiet night on the road.
Maybe we will fare well in catching him tomorrow.
And in fact, it's the sun rises in a fairly clear sky, which is bane to Ivanovich, but to most normal people, it's a nice clear day.
It's a very sunny day. Do not like it.
It's cold as hell, but it's
sunny days taking our cares away.
Oh.
That's the main street
how
to get. By the way, it's called Sesame Street.
How to get to Von Glanovich Street?
Sesamevich. Sesamova Street.
Sesamevich? That's nice.
All right. Anything special today other than just hustling on horseback again?
Abigail tosses.
Well, at this point, we'll probably want to turn north, correct? To catch the river directly?
So you would know if you continue the road, it will take you literally right into southern Transia.
Right, but we want to hit the river before
which is north. Yeah, if you cut due north, you would be, you would think you would come out 10 miles west of Transia.
Perfect timing, perfect place. I say we cut north and we move straight north from this point forward.
So you leave the road. The road's not really benefiting you in the thick snow for speed anyway. It's just more of a marker, like how to get somewhere.
Right.
All right, you do that. But I will need the... What? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, when do you want me to use my fairy ball again? to see if I can figure out where Glanovich is.
Oh, that would be a good idea to do now, because if he's already made it to Transia, there's no point going straight north.
Right, I can certainly try. We got a full night's rest, I'm assuming.
Yeah, everybody's full stamina.
Okay, so it would be -3.
Including the horses.
All right, I shall try again.
Got it.
Bloody got it.
Let's see.
Do you have something of his? I can't remember.
Yeah, his
Oh,
hair.
that's right. You saw him before.
And thank
All right,
goodness, 29.
And to be clear, this is Count Von Glanovich and not Magus, right?
Correct.
All right, 29. Holy crap. See how powerful his Scry Ward spell is. DL 40.
He did not have that when I last did this.
So, there's a reason he's learned it now. No, I'm kidding. So, 29. All right, so you stare into the fairy bowl and put in the piece of hair and do all the other stuff that's part of the incantation. And after about a minute, you start seeing this image, Abigail, and she's the only one, again, who really sees it. The water just looks normal to everyone else. And Abigail, you could see the image starting to take shape, and it's clearly Victor Von Glanovich. You can see from his long, dark hair that's kind of graying, his normal features and all that stuff. He's in his black chainmail armor. He's got like a fur-trimmed cloak on, sort of normal stuff, his nice boots, blah, 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 carrying his saber. And he seems to be inside of a building, actually, that's a black and white marble. It's either something like a palace or a temple, maybe.
Uh-oh.
All right. As she's looking, she's going to describe the surroundings to her companions.
Can I roll lore to remember where that is within Transia if I've been inside the castle or the palace?
So Abigail's going to describe it.
I'm saying this as I'm looking and trying to see if I find anything else.
Okay. After about 30 seconds into the scene, before the spell ends, after a minute, you see a tall, gaunt figure with a shaven, bald head. Like he's wearing like bone armor that almost looks like it mimics a skeleton. And this black and white cloak of fur kind of approaching to speak to Victor Von Glanovich.
I would recognize that as the Death Master, right?
I mean, if Abigail describes it, it sounds like Vladimir the Pale, who's the Grand High Priest of pretty much the whole Order of Anderok.
Yep, she says, describes this man, this tall, shaved head man.
He is with the Grand High Priest. Would I know from her description of the surroundings? Does it sound like they're in Transia already?
Grand High, Death Lord actually is his title.
Or Death Lord, not Master Death.
Make a lore roll. Matthew.
You betcha.
Or Glev. Either or.
Glev mate.
I'm assuming Glev is more familiar with Mulovian than Matt, but I could be wrong. 22. Yeah, the way she's describing it, there's 2 temples of Anderok, at least 2 in Transia, but it sounds like this is probably the high temple where the Pale typically resides.
I will tell them. It sounds like he is with in the main temple there in Transia already.
Yeah,
I wonder if he is trying to gather favor of the Death Lord in order to try to sway the decision of the king to assist him. Does the Death Lord have such sway over the king? It's hard to say.
And about now, the image ends, Abigail.
All right.
So we do not need to go to the river. We know he is in Transia. He is not with the king yet, which is a good thing. We must find him before he gets there, though. So let us make haste to try to make it to Transia. It was still a bit of time away, but we will do our best.
This complicates things if he has your Death Lord as an ally.
Yeah, but it could be the excuse I need to usurp his power.
And this is why I am a good friend of Glaive.
I'm sorry, are we taking out a priest now?
Eventually it was going to happen because I promised Glaive he would become the new Death Lord of Molovia after I took over the kingship.
Is that how it works? Like you kill the priest and then you become the priest? Is that part of your religion?
I don't know that it was necessarily required death. Once I was the king, I could probably just have him deposed. But if he fought against it, then we would have to kill him. But I don't think that would be necessary. However, in this case, we might have to go in reverse order and make Glaive the high priest or the Death Lord, and then I become king. Either way, the end result is the same.
He might make a most glorious sacrifice for Andorra.
Especially if he's already been undead before. Should that be true? He escaped Andorok for a while, and now he must find his way back to him.
That sounds like
we have to consider that there is possibly another contender for the crown now, depending on if Glanovich reveals why this all started.
You mean the Death Lord would want the crown?
Why wouldn't he?
Because he is a Death Lord of Andorok. He was already immortal once, according to the myths.
You don't think a priest would want more power?
He's got all of it as there is. Either way, like I said, I'm not too worried. It is if another person has to die, another person has to die. It's not no skin off my back.
Well, let's try not to start a civil war with the king or the priest just yet.
No.
Based off of your black lions that had their tail between their legs, walking back home, I don't think we're really in a position to start something so big.
No, everything we do here is subterfuge and sneaky. Not. That's why I did not want to bring them along, because they were going to make too much noise.
In consulting my notes and my studious notes, yes, it is clear that Vladimir wishes the blood crown. If we end up in his presence, it might be wise not to have the crown on us in case he can sense its presence.
Yeah.
I also have I'm
not planning on meeting with the Death Lord. I'm planning on meeting with Glanovich and having Glanovich examine the edge of my blade with the insides of his chest.
This is good. Mike, I also have in my notes here that Temple of Bones, I just have a note that says tap 2 times 2 feet from floor. Did I learn some secret about the Temple of Bones earlier, and I didn't notate well enough?
Yeah, that sounds like a hidden chamber beneath the altar in the main sanctuary.
Okay. All right.
I guess you must have learned some kind of deep secret. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's been so long. But
also, Matt, to be clear, that last priest that you treated with, that was not Vladimir. That was Stefanov. I think I misspoke his name when we were role playing that scene.
Okay.
He probably had no business all the way out in Western Molovia, but basically that's Glanovich's kind of quote personal high priest unquote, kind of like your Von Mulov's personal priest.
The other question I was going to have, and I might be something like a lower role, but like how, and I can't remember if we learned this already, but like the power of Vladimir over the king, like would we know that, like, do we think he controls him? Is he a puppet of?
Yeah, that would definitely be a lower role.
Okay.
The DL is lower for you though, because you're in the Order of the Frozen Skull, which is the main order of Androg.
Yeah, not enough. Only 11. So.
Well, you don't know anything specifically about if he has him enspelled or in other way kind of control, but you do know that he does wield possibly as much power as King Vortimir, not only socially but probably magically as well.
I will tell my friends that he may be wise to go to Vladimir over the king.
That will be something for you to treat with. Just the two of you.
Right.
We will track Glanovich in his movements within the city while you are enjoying the company of the Death Lord and entrusting or gaining his trust and perhaps even his alliance, I guess.
I think he will only align if he thinks he has something to gain.
Or nothing to lose.
Perhaps.
You will, if he may not gain anything, but if he feels like he may lose something without the lining, he would still align for that as well.
This is possible. Well, shall we proceed to Transia then? We have no need to go to the river, obviously.
Let us go to Transia.
Okay, so continue on the road.
Why, yes.
Yes. All right. All right. So, and you're still doing that hustle, right? That horse ride.
At this point, yeah, I guess so. Might as well. We still want to get there quickly.
Or not. All right. Up to you guys. Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Random encounter roll for the last leg of the journey.
Oh no. And another Isavam.
Isavam.
It's been too long.
Yes.
Too long.
We don't need any more Isavarms. Isavarms are done. No more.
Especially with no Magos. We need
wait.
Magos.
Oh no, never mind. That's a good roll for y'all.
Oh.
Let's say nothing happens.
Oh.
Forgot how the chart goes. It was a natural 20. That's why I was worried. I thought it was something special.
Oh.
On this chart, it's I mean, unless you're wanting something weird to happen, but if you're wanting,
I've always
it's
wanted
good
to
if you're
have
just wanting
something
to get
horrible
the Transia. Yeah. So, in other words, it's the next. Let's see, what part of the day did we get to when this is happening? This is still.
This would have been morning. We had just woken up. We're getting ready to move. Oh no, that's right. You did the no encounter roll. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the first part of the day was already resolved, and then you started to split off, or you were going to, but you don't.
Right.
And then for the next 2 hours, you ride really hard, and actually about 3 hours, and about an hour, maybe 2 hours before sunset, you see the glint of a large river that's mostly frozen over now, if not entirely frozen over, the Corvas River. And then brooding on the other side of the river, mostly, some of it is spilled over, is this black stoned, impressive city that is in Transia. As you approach the capital,
we have reached Transia for the third time. Yes. Third time now. Nothing like dancing at the footsteps of your enemies to make the blood race through your body.
The question for you, Ivanovich, is when you...
I'm not quite sure. It might. Never really thought about that.
When you are king, Ivanovich, will you keep the capital here or will you move it to your homeland?
Oh, no. The capital will stay in Transia. I will stay here. My homelands belong to my sister now.
Yeah, everybody's down 4 stamina.
4
hours ride after the 5-hour base. Peace. The horses are down 8. They are exactly fatigued.
Another good time to rest.
Yes.
Shall we procure a place to stay in the city, I assume?
Let us try to get into the city under cover of darkness. as just weary travelers. Harder for them to identify in the dark.
Do you think I should disguise? Take off my robes and disguise?
No, you should stay as a priest. The night guard is not looking for a specific priest, so any priest coming in, they expect to be going to the main temple to pay homage and worship. The rest of us are just standard pilgrims or travelers.
As you
Alright.
wish.
So that is what I think we should do.
I'm still here. I'm just off camera. Looking for my notes on Transia.
Do you propose then that we set up camp and rest a little bit before going into the city, or do we just wait an hour or so and then make our way in?
Well, is it dark or is it just dusk?
It is dusk.
I say if we are going to make it, I mean, we don't need to set up camp, but let us just relax, hang out, take a breather, gain a little bit of recover a little bit of our vitality, and then go into transit. No, 2 hours should be perfect. It'd be just after dark. It would be what a normal late traveler would arrive. Nothing too suspicious.
Da. Very well.
It would be a good way to approach the situation.
All right.
Unless anyone has any other better ideas.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, Glev, there's 3 temples of Andorok and Transia.
Oh, 3. Okay.
The Bone Temple being the chief among them, where Vladimir the Pale is. There's also 2 temples of Ural. Ural's the god of craft and fire.
Is this
And
where
the
I
Temple of
saw
Shragnar.
this?
Yes, we
was
went.
in Valkenport,
Oh, it was.
fortunately. Yeah.
Oh, Valkenport. That's right. That's right. I was about to say, I still have the bones of that, of the priest with me.
So,
awesome, by the way. Absolutely fantastic.
It's coming back to me now. I think one of the last times we were in Transia, I went and we got separated, and I went and studied. I don't know if it was at the Bone Temple, but I studied in the archives. Yeah, that might have been where I learned that secret thing. So,
oh, that's what it was. It's not at the altar. It's in the there's a secret library chamber in the main library, and that 2 steps from, what was it? 2 steps.
2 steps. Where are my notes? Tap 2 times 2 feet from floor.
Okay. Yeah. That's in the. You think that opens up a secret door to a secret chamber? Anyway, do y'all approach southern? I assume be coming from the south, where the road's leading.
After 2 hours of rest.
Yeah, after 2 hours of rest.
Oh, okay, you're camping on the road for a couple hours. All right.
More just hanging out.
2 hours? Huh?
More just hanging out because it's dusk. We want to go to be like late travelers arriving to the city.
Okay, so no fire or anything?
No.
Speaking of which, does everybody have at least a fur cloak or any, I think y'all have winter garb.
Duh. And Abigail has one of my cloaks already, so.
All right. No endurance rolls are required, even if without the fire. It's not bad today anyway. So yeah, 2 hours pass, and that puts you a good half hour after sunset. As you notice in the sky tonight, almost appropriately for entering Transia for this possible showdown or whatever, both moons are just about touching, and they're both full. So the mating of the moons is probably, the first night of it is probably considered tonight. Tomorrow is probably the main. Which you also would know in Mulovian custom that shops will be closed. So it's a holy day.
Oh, shops are closed. Do tell more.
We would have gotten 2 stamina back a piece, right, for the 2 hours?
What now?
We would have gotten 2 stamina back a piece for resting for 2 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And because the
shall
moons are
find.
almost in conjunction, it's +1 to shadow, death, and life magic rolls. So just to put that out there, because it's hard to keep up with.
So in other words, Gleb is like super, super potent right now.
I've got the power.
We must also assume that Vladimir also has
Yeah,
this.
that's true.
Yeah.
However, I have the witch's root and the fairy ward. If you want to up some of that as well, really go all out.
Or an added
Slavka is
pick-me-up.
always +1 to vigor as well.
Look, we're here to do one job. That job is to kill Von Glanovich. If other people fall in the way, then that is that. But we are here to kill Von Glanovich, period. Done. Over with.
Oh, dear.
Right?
Oh, any recommendations on how to pull this off stealthily?
No recommendations, just don't get caught.
I mean, we still have the one potion of invisibility, right?
No, we don't. We don't.
Oh, that's
Drago
oh.
has the potion of
Betrayed it.
invisibility.
Ah.
Does he?
Yeah, he
I mean,
never
I can
used it
still
when we were.
cast. I can still cast it. It's just the potion gives you an hour instead of 10 minutes.
Right.
Ah,
Either way,
I can also
it's not a big deal. First, we have to find him. Then we have to track him. Then we have to sneak up on him. Then we have to kill him. So one step at a time.
How about this? Once we get into the city, I'll try to make some potions or a potion. And then come dawn, I can use my fairy ball again. And then we'll go from there.
I think that's a good idea. We will stay at a nice inn. We'll have our horses cared for. We'll get a good night's sleep. And we'll keep our ear out for Von Glanovich and his people. Figure he'll stay at one of the nicer inns as well. So we've got maybe a 30% chance. There's really only 3 good inns, if I remember right. Maybe more.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5. You got last time you guys stayed at the Withered Rose.
Is that the closest one to the Bone Temple?
Yeah, probably the closest one.
Then I suggest we return there.
The Sickle
Very
and
well.
Hearth is also close by.
I think that is a good idea.
All right.
We will catch him. Don't worry. It will happen.
So it sounds like you're not sneaking into the city. You're just going through the.
Yeah, we're going in under the the story to the guards that we are travelers and we are arriving late and we are looking for lodging.
Yes, Ivanovich is not wearing
It's
his
not-
blood
it's not a
armor
lie.
or his
Livery.
Livery. That's the word I'm looking for.
Same with Ivanovich.
Right.
Like-
Well, no, you should be wearing the priestly garbs, correct? Glenn?
I'll wear the priestly garbs
Yeah,
because
you get +2 to persuasion and performance rolls.
and it gives me
Meanwhile,
the
I am
excuse of coming
going
for the mating of
incognito.
the moons. So yes.
Yeah, that's true. So coming in from the south, there's a little bit of transient that's kind of spilled over onto this side of the river, where the main part is really across the river, and one end is here. This is the Crooked Crow. Then there's a ferry you can take across that's pulled by a chain across to the river if you want. So right now it's frozen over though, and there literally occasionally see a townsperson walking across, skating across the lake very precariously. Some of the guards shout at the person like, "Get out there, you fool!" Some are laughing at him. One guy's like throws like an apple core like at the peasant trying to knock him over. Sort of cruel, but sort of funny in a way. So if you want to cross the river that way, you can. There's also a bridge. I forgot. Yeah, there's a bridge as well. Stone bridge. It looks like the reason the peasanters going by because it looks like the bridge is being tolled.
Oh,
so this guy probably doesn't want to pay.
We will go across the normal way. Yeah.
So if you go to the bridge, there are 4 guards standing there. No, they don't look like blood disciples, at least. Regular transient guards. Pretty good, chainmail hauberks, decent helmets with a nasal guard. And one of them, of course, speaks out, and you wish to come across to the rest of Transia, I imagine.
Aye.
My lord priest, of course.
Yes, I've come for the mating of the moons.
It is a small toll, but for you, are these your acolytes?
These
Or
are my
sacrifices?
traveling companions, yes.
Looks at you suspiciously, but he says, very well, you may pass. He looks up at the moons for some reason when he says that, with a bit of fear in his eyes.
The
Is it
Winter
about to turn
Lord,
him into a frog?
the Winter Lord be with you.
My thanks, my lord. Oh, a blessing upon you. And he literally casts a blessing spell. Without a thought, like clearly better than Gleb ever would.
And it burns. It burns.
Yes. And you get across the sturdy stone bridge to Transia proper. You're in this quarter of town that's a little poorer. It's called the River Quarter. And I don't know. So where do you want to go? Check it into an inn? Do you want to go to the same inn, or do you find another one?
The same inn.
All right, the Withered Rose. That's just outside of this quarter of the city. So you have to go through another gate from some interior walls, which also have soldiers standing there. And basically, they don't really say anything. They're all kind of gossiping with each other, half paying attention. And you go through this tunnel.
As we walk by them, can I see if I catch anything about what they're talking about?
Yeah, perception, hearing, of course.
Yes.
Perception.
Drago will also try to hear.
Percepzione.
Hey, dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Drago's doing it too. Both of you over here, they're speaking in Mulovian, obviously the native language. They seem to be talking about women. And just as you're about out of earshot, they bring up a name, Ivanka. And another one says, yes, the Von Mulov. Yes, Ivanka. I want to do her.
Ivanka do her.
True jokes.
And I turn to Ivanovich and say, these guards were talking about your sister. She might be in town.
What were they saying about my sister?
You don't want to know. It was crude, soldierly things.
Well, if I get hungry, I know where to come.
In addition to the crude stuff, one soldier was being more serious about, was being asked, if I were to settle down, it would be with a noble one, the one that dresses nice at court, a beautiful, Ivanka, my Von Mula. And that's when the other guy's like, Ivanka, you know what I'm saying.
Yes. One of the men was saying nice things, although he does not deserve your sister.
Well, my sister's spoken for, and like I said, if I get hungry, I know where to come.
Well,
to the Withered Rose.
Continue
the
on.
Withered Rose.
Go down a street that you're pretty sure leads to it eventually. It winds a little bit. It's very dark. Transit's pretty dark at night, although the two moons have lit up the city pretty well. Occasionally there's a torch, candle burning in a window. And eventually you get to a big black sign hanging over the street that says the Withered Rose. It has a black crumbling rose on it. How appropriate. As you stride inside. All right. So, same proprietor that you probably remember last time. Doesn't
I'll
seem
go
to
up to the proprietor.
Huh?
I'll go up to the proprietor and ask for some rooms.
Yes, of course. I do have 3 available tonight.
Three
At
would
least
be
I'm
nice.
working. Yes, tomorrow most of the city they are taking a time off to honor, of course, the Winter Lord as the new year is coming.
Oh yes, I mean my companion Glev is a high priest, and we are traveling with him, and he is going to show us to the Bone Temple, and
Ah,
we are here
wait,
for this
I
purpose.
remember you from a month ago or 6 weeks.
A little longer, yes, yes. But
I
we would
always
like the
wonder why
three
a priest would
rooms.
stay in my inn instead of one of the temples, but I will take anyone's coin.
Uh,
Oops.
Oop. Ah,
Yeah, I think we lost Duncan.
he's
I'm
still
still
there.
here.
He just took off his
Oh, there he is.
video.
All right. Everybody's had their moment tonight of frozenness or being kicked out. Oh, yes. Let me see. 3 rooms available. Do need stables.
I think so. That would be nice.
Yeah.
He'll see it
Right.
when he watches it again.
I have 5 stalls available, so hopefully you have no more than that.
We have 4 horses.
8
We have
bronze
4
coins
horses.
per room.
It's how many?
8 bronze pieces.
Very well.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong. You guys are the river. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. 8 bronze pieces. There's a stable. The food is decent, and the drink is decent, and there's body entertainment.
Of course there is.
Oh, I
Yes.
remember. This is where all the pretty ladies were.
Yeah. There's 2 of them right now, currently kind of dancing around. Very.
Do you have
Somewhat.
any other nobles staying at this establishment?
Well, my friends, it is very rare for the nobilities to stay at the Withered Rose, but it has happened before.
You
None that
have
I know of.
wonderful entertainment. That's why I asked.
To be frank, my lord, if they stayed here, they probably would be traveling in disguise.
Yes, but Victor von Glanovich is very easy to identify.
Oh, Victor von Glanovich?
Duh,
Yes, he is a noble of the West.
duh.
Yeah, I know nothing of him, my lord. I forgive. I'm but
This
a
is
humble
fine. I
man.
was just curious. I was just picking him out of the air as one of the many nobles that might come and stay who is identifiable, but
No, that I know of. He's not here. At least in this inn. He could be in Transia for all I know.
okay. I was just saying, like the Mortavians could come through, although I hear that they have more money than anyone, so they probably wouldn't stay here either. They'd just buy somebody's home.
Of course, of course. But I remember you and the girl and the man with the raven.
Ah. Well, it was nice staying here before. This is why we are staying again.
Well, I thank you. It is a humble place.
Well,
I hope you enjoy
it is
the
a
entertainment
comfortable
or
place.
ignore it.
It is a comfortable place. That is what we care about.
Well, yes. Occasionally the roof leaks, but I've had it fixed recently.
Good, because I do not wish to be dripped upon.
Good news is I will still be working tomorrow when everyone else is off.
Well, that is nice.
So I do not have to kick you into the street yet.
I like the jokes. You're a very funny man.
Yeah, as being somewhat serious. So anyway, I will bring some Slavka for you in the house.
Very nice. Thank you, sir.
Ah,
And I turn back to go to our group. Oh, I have to pay the man for the rooms. How much is the rooms?
8 bronze pieces per room, so 24. 2.4 silver. Enough to break you, I'm sure.
I actually give him 3 silver.
Oh. All right, your hands burn a little bit as you hand him well, you have gauntlets on.
Gloves, thank you.
He tries to offer you change, but
No, this is for your hospitality.
I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Yes. Well, enjoy the body entertainment or ignore it as you will.
I come sit. I say, okay, we have 3 rooms in the inn. We've got food coming, Slavka, which I think we will all enjoy for being traveling as we have.
Exactly enough room in the stable for the horses.
And room for the horses. So We will stay here for the night. Does anyone wish to venture out?
I would love to when everyone is occupied with your mating moons, but I believe I have some potions I need to prioritize.
Very well. I will stay with you in the room to make sure you are safe and undisturbed. Glev, you and Drago may share a room, or you can each have your own. I got 3 rooms specifically for the sole purpose of leaving a dummy room unoccupied, but that is neither here nor there.
Hey, Duncan, can you hear us?
Yes.
Looks like Gleb is already in bed.
I just want to check.
He's so far away.
Glev and I can share a room. This is good.
This makes me smile.
Oh,
anyways,
Matt. Yeah.
yes.
I keep expecting him to go behind the shield of the logo, but for some reason it never happens.
Wait a moment. Lev, you can stay at the temple. They have rooms for you, don't they? I think that's what you did last time.
That is true. I suppose it sets up the awareness of my presence. My presence will be known eventually, so...
I am a little leery of this because they are very aware that you travel with me.
Hmm.
And you were there taking the oath with Von Glanovich.
That is my thought too. I'm fine staying here tonight, and I'm fine, Drago, and I can share a room if we wish to have a decoy room. Besides, he casts a good ghost fence, so I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Glev, do you need me to make a potion for you when you possibly talk to this Vladimir? Maybe a see the unseen potion or shadow armor in case things go wrong.
Yes, I don't think I'm quite as strong as he is yet if things go that way, but perhaps something like see the unseen would be beneficial. To get some insight into motivations and such.
Well, it won't give you anything like that. It's more of a physical, like you can see supernatural
yes,
illusions or things
hidden
that are
from
hidden
normal
from
sight. Yeah.
Okay. That
Or
is good.
perhaps
Well, that
secret
would be good for
passages.
detecting any sort of trap, yes.
Yes, traps, secret passages, anything of that sort, if you want to do some other research in the church.
I like to find knowledge, especially hidden knowledge.
Well, this will help you with that. I'll work on that as well.
Well, thank you. Make sure you get the rest you need as well.
Very well. Well, I'm gonna get my stuff and head up to one of the rooms so I can start.
All right.
Ivanovich grabs a bottle of Slavka that the innkeeper brings out and goes with her.
Okay. All right. So you guys leave the common room, go up to your private rooms, and Abigail's going to start mixing. So this is, I think it's -2 because you're not using an actual like laboratory.
I have a alchemist kit though.
Oh yes. Oh, that's right. So yeah, you don't have a penalty. You've got all the necessary vials and tongs and stuff.
It's going to be 2 hours and 10 silver each for whatever I do.
All right. Thank you. Have it calculated already. I don't have to worry about it.
Yep. I leave it calculated in my notes, so it's easy.
Yeah, 1 stamina per hour of work, as you probably know. Okay.
Right.
So
and the mating moons, it applies to this role as well, correct?
Yes. I mean, if it's magical arts, it does. If it's alchemy, it's not. So
I always use magical arts.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, if it's life, shadow, or death. The moons don't seem to be affecting the elemental disciplines. Just
Cool.
air, earth, fire, water.
Ooh, a 32.
Oh wait, I take that back. It actually does
Nice.
affect water magic. 32. Jeez. Missed by 1, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. Which potion was that?
This is gonna be the See the Unseen.
Okay. I just want to know if it was DL intensive, but doesn't really matter.
Both of them are gonna be DL 10s.
Okay. All right. So that's a critical success for See the Unseen, right?
Hey,
Nice.
yeah.
Woo.
You will
So that
see
means-
Androck.
Huh? Yeah. So that means the potion lasts for 2 hours when you drink it, or it can it lasts for 2 months potency before you drink it. So you're
I think the 2 hours is going to be more useful for this case.
okay. So you have a really potent version. And that was how long? You already calculated 2 hours?
2 hours. So
Yeah, because
two,
it's per 5 of the deal. All right.
and I shall do the disappearance potion.
Ivanovich at some point screws up, forgets what the Slavka is, and he drinks some of the acid they were making.
It's a 30.
A 30, another critical success exactly.
I'm not
Steal 10.
drinking the Slavka. I'm waiting for Abigail to be finished so that I can share it with her.
Oh, sorry, and lights are on fire. I mean, share. So, which potion is this, Madison?
Disappearance, and I will take the 2 hour version if it's a critical success.
Yeah, it is exactly on the dot. So, 2 2-hour potions.
Yeah,
Nice.
she looks at these potions. She's like, I love this mating of the moon thing you've got here.
That's true. The second one literally would not have been a crit without this time of year.
Nice.
Well, the moons. And that's 4 hours, so that's now into like it's about midnight.
Yes.
So what's Drago?
So he's once he and Glev get back to the room, Drago just asks Glev, this Death Lord, where does he normally set up shop, so to speak?
Where?
Da.
Do I know his history, where he came from? I don't have that in my notes.
Well, I mean, he's usually
Or just-
at the Bone Temple, which is the high temple of all the temples in Malovia.
Yeah, but
which I guess Drago might know as well.
But you can roll lore if he has like another residence, maybe, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, sorry. I thought he asked where
just
he came from. I thought you were asking where he came from.
Like where he was born, or
no, just what Abigail saw in her vision, basically, where we think that vision took place.
Oh, it was definitely in the Bone Temple, which makes sense. As the primary ruler there, he is the Bone Temple pilot.
I will set up ghost fence before I go. But I think I'd like to do a little bit of sleuthing
So bad.
on my own. I will not be gone long, and so he just does not a full ritual, but just the 1 minute version of the ghost fence just across the threshold of the door.
the lesser version, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
To seal Gleb in there with his silly puns.
He's laughing to himself as he tells bad jokes.
Ooh, okay.
You need to learn the spell called Pun Fence. There is
Anybody
pun word.
Anybody who crosses it will fall to the floor laughing.
Oh, and I guess he said
29.
+1, so that would actually be 30.
Oh, 30 with the
Plus
holy
1
crap.
from the blood moon.
Yeah.
With the meeting of
Jeez,
the moons,
okay.
yeah.
Abigail's like, Drago, I must speak. Ah! And like runs off down the hallway.
Yeah, she's literally holding the potion. She's like,
Drops, shatters them. All right.
Drago's
leaves.
just gonna head out he's just gonna head out into the street and sort of just wander in the street in sort of the direction of the Bone Temple. In particular, he's gonna be keeping an eye out for soldiers. especially any that might have Von Glanovich's seal.
Okay. All right. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to look for. We have a map of Transia. Pulled up. I don't think so, unfortunately. Ah. All right. Trying to give you guys more of a bearing on where you are. Oh, I do have this though. Handy little graphic. This is approaching from the riverside.
Oh, yeah.
Aha.
That's the river. There's Imperial warships. Oh no, actually those would be Scathian. And then on the inside, so that quarter you first came into, the river quarter, looks like these.
It's very tiny.
It's very tiny. It looks like that.
Oh, that's much bigger.
These. So you're just kind of roaming around through areas that look a lot like that for the most part. All right. So Drago seeks particularly the bone tipple itself. Right. So Duncan, is he going to ask around or just try to find it?
Well, would he? I guess would he know where the Bone Temple is, or if he doesn't know, then he would ask.
It does
Glev
tower over a lot of
he...
things. Make a lore roll. See if you know, or even just raw intellect. I mean, lore is based on intellect anyway. Might as well add some lore skill levels. 11. Yeah, I was looking for DL10. So yeah, you're actually pretty sure from the skyline which one is the Bone Temple. It's a pretty brooding, foreboding, like obvious building. Like only the King's
yes.
Royal Palace is larger.
Yeah,
And
so he's gonna just.
Yep.
He's just gonna kind of head in that direction and
Okay.
not try to blend into the crowd. Just.
Well, it's like midnight. Oh, is this before Abigail's potion making? If it's
Well, I
before
guess
that, it's
not.
only an hour
It took
after.
her 4 hours. It took her 4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, as soon as they got
midnight.
back to their room.
Okay, so before the potion making?
It's before. As soon as they got back. Yeah, as soon as Drago and Glev got back to their room.
Okay.
He
All right,
cast
so
ghost fence and went off.
yeah, so the streets are not super busy, but there's still people walking around, soldiers, drunks, probably thieves, and Transia is not the most wholesome of cities.
What are you talking about? This is the heart of Mulovia, which is the most wholesome country in the planet.
It is. All right. To make a stealth check, Thoroggle.
Well,
Do you have
he's
Radu
just.
with you? Do you have
He does
Radu
have
with you?
Radu with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Even if he's just like walking with the crowd, you still want a stealth check.
Well, what's your intent? Are you or you can do disguise, or you don't have to do either. It's mostly in case I need a DL for somebody maybe spotting you or looking for you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can do disguise. I'm also got my disguise stat is not very good, but I do have faceless in a crowd.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, so you're very good at specifically looking nondescript.
Well, there's a disguise roll though.
Okay. Is that the total?
Yeah, that's the total.
18. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I assume you're not trying to look like specifically something or someone else, but if you're just trying to blend in, nobody's the wiser. Nobody calls your name or anything like that or looks suspicious at you.
Yeah.
And you work your way through the streets and pretty easily, because you guys, the inn you're staying in is not that far down from the Bone Temple. Within 15 minutes, you're in the shadow of it. So this is actually on this graphic. This is actually it. It doesn't look. It's actually black and white marble, and it's actually built of some bone as well.
Mm.
So it doesn't look exactly like that, but roughly. And you're kind of approaching it through the square, and there are torches burning around it and cauldrons and such. There's a massive statue of a skull encaked in ice. A couple of statues of wolves and ravens. And you approach the temple itself. The temple's the big, huge doors are yawning wide open, inviting whoever would come in during the night. And you come into it.
And
Yep.
looking around, there's I don't notice any sort of soldiers with Von Glanovich seal or anything like that, I assume.
Make a perception roll. Site specialty, of course, or urban specialty. Oh,
25.
okay. Before you even head inside, you see 4 horses tethered to one of the big pillars out front, and one of them has on its livery has a blood red rose symbol. And there's also a single soldier standing there in black chainmail, kind of probably watching over the horses. He pays you no mind, probably doesn't really notice you. What do you want to
I have
do?
to think. That's a good question. But there are people coming in and out of the Bone Church still.
There's not like droves of people, but every so often a townsperson wanders in, or a couple, and then somebody leaves. So it is still somewhat busy, even though it's an hour after dark.
All right. Drago is going to wander into the Bone Church then as well, playing the role of somebody offering their respects to Andorok.
Okay. You wander in through an antechamber. There's a couple of acolytes. They just kind of nod to you. They don't really approach you or ask you for anything. And then the next chamber is this massive sanctuary, about 3 stories high. And it looks like what Abigail was describing from her vision, from her Farsight spell. Like the black and white marble. There's an altar literally made out of bone. And in here you see 3 more Von Glanovich soldiers mixed in amongst some commoners. They're just kind of standing around talking, it looks like.
I'm gonna try do a perception roll to try and hear what they're talking about. If that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't guess you want to get like super close, right?
Ooh.
Oh no.
Damn it.
You hear everything.
You hear all the wrong things. How close were you trying to get?
I mean, not obviously close. Like he doesn't
Okay.
want to, you know what I mean? Like,
So like
I don't
10
know.
yards, 15
Depending
yards?
on how crowded the space is, like maybe like 30 feet. I don't know.
Okay.
25 feet.
Okay. You said the magic number SDL 15 instead of 20, because 20, that was a crit failure. So you want to stay further away. So fortunately, you risk getting a little closer. You're not really paying you much mind because you're trying to look like just another commoner that wandered in. And you can, but you don't really hear what they're saying. Maybe you catch them at a quiet moment, or they're mumbling pretty low anyway.
All right.
And then finally, one of them kind of looks up at you. There's this brief moment of like, holy crap, does he recognize me? But he just kind of, yes, what is it you're looking at, peasant?
Forgive me,
nice
I'm
bird
just
you
here
got there.
to pay my respect. Da, he is a good companion.
It's a beautiful bird. There is a lovely young woman that used to serve, that used to have a raven familiar. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, peasant? Move along. We're having private conversation.
Da, of course. And he kind of backs his way back out of the Bone Church.
Okay. All the way out. All right.
Ah, God, I kind of want to like tell Radu to follow them, or it seems dangerous. No, he'll just make his way back to the inn, I think.
Okay. So you don't wait around too long. All right.
No.
So
Well, maybe he'll hang out outside of the Bone Church for about an hour, but try and do so,
okay.
I mean, not an obvious way, and try and see if he can observe the guards leaving the Bone Church.
Okay. So you're either kind of hiding in the shadows or blending in with what fewer people that are left in the streets.
Yeah. I can
All
roll
right.
a hiding roll if you'd like.
Yeah. Definitely got cover. I mean, you can get into a spot with +5 cover bonus if you really wanted to, making that a 37.
Jeez.
Who needs a
Nice.
potion of disappearance?
I know, right? My job is done.
I don't know if 47 would be even that much cooler.
True. So yeah, you find this perfect spot, this hidden in the shadows. Nobody's walking by, and even if they do, they walk like 3 feet away from you and don't even notice you, including a couple of soldiers. And during this time, Drago, make a luck roll.
Oh.
Ooh.
Flat 0.
Oh no.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
All right. So you wait around for about 40 minutes, and lo and behold, striding out of the front of the temple is clearly Victor Von Glanovich and those 4 soldiers.
Kill him.
Get him! Do it!
As
Do
he
it!
Have
As
Radu
he
peck his eyes
secretly-
out.
he secret shots a double shot arrow, precise shooting him in the eye, that sort of thing.
Yeah, go for it. You got a disappearance potion on you. Not that you need it. Do it.
I think Drago is a little too smart for
Are you sure?
that.
He can run.
Ugh.
About 30 yards away from you.
I might need to look up the curse spell real quick.
Ooh.
I would cut back to everybody else, but I already know what they're doing. Because this is at the beginning of the 4 hours for Abigail and Glev and Ivanovich.
I'm sleeping.
But after the 4 hours, Bluffka.
I don't know if we'll get too far ahead because whatever Drago does here might be major.
Mhm.
It could be alarms to the city. Whoa, Matt's like doing some weird craziness.
Remind me again. So if I cast a curse and it's successful, they're still aware, like they feel sort of a magical effect.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, sleeping.
All the kitties making an appearance.
Waking up.
All right.
Gleb's real life familiar.
Drago is going to curse him.
Hi, kitty. Okay.
Just Von Glanovich, no one else.
Are you close enough?
Oh shoot. Range is only 10 yards. Oof.
It's 15. 10 yards.
He said he's
30 yards out.
30 yards away. And he's now walking up to one of the horses with his entourage.
All right. This is dangerous. I will. Nope. Drago's just gonna go back to the inn as quickly as he can.
So close. All right. You're like, damn it.
I know.
They wouldn't know where the curse came from.
So you get back in about 15 minutes time, having been so
Yes.
close.
But he's gonna go straight to Abigail and Ivanovich's room
Okay.
and tell them that
When Drago comes in, you're about halfway through that first potion. Abigail.
She's not even. She's focusing entirely on the potions.
What is it,
Ivanovich
Drago?
Holding a bottle of Slavka.
I feel I must tell you that I just did a little bit of sleuthing, and Von Glanovich just 15 minutes ago left the Bone Temple. I saw him with my own eyes.
Did you send Radu after him to see where he is going?
I did not. I felt it would be too dangerous.
Take me. Abigail, we will be back. We will do some more investigation.
Very well. Be careful.
I will be.
Clever
Hey, Drago, lead the way.
Feline
Take me to where you saw him.
Da. And so they head back out the door.
Okay.
As we're moving that direction, I will tell Drago, I was like, if you can get Radu to fly up high enough just to keep a track on their movements, he should be out of their sight and their mindset, and at least give us an idea and some bearings.
It's possible. I just did not want to send him on the wild goose chase and possibly get discovered. But
I agree. I don't wish him to be discovered either, but I just need to know directions and bearings. See if he can fly around from the area, go ahead of us, because he can get there quicker.
Da. So I turns to Radu and says, Radu, follow Von Glanovich. Well,
Okay. So he knows follow, right?
yeah, he doesn't know
specifically you're
Glanovich's
talking
name,
about.
actually. Yeah,
So,
I just
So
thought
that'd
about that.
Yeah, it'll be an animal
All right.
handling roll to get
All right,
into
well, I can
into
try
it,
that.
who you're talking about. Now, he was recently at Blackrock Castle, so that definitely will help. Association.
17.
Okay, he seems to understand. You're hoping anyway, but he seems to understand
All right.
immediately. And he is lifting off out of the alleyway up into the sky above Transia.
Cool.
I mean, how fast do you guys try to go to catch up with Von Glanovich, or are you waiting for a report from Radu or something?
No, we're going to move to where he saw him last, but I'm going to try to stay in the shadows as much as possible, but moving still fairly quickly. So I'm assuming like a -2 or -5 to the stealth roll.
Yeah, normal speed stealth is -5.
It's -5?
Yeah, doing your base mobility.
Okay.
So Drago
I
doing
will
the
do
same, I
same.
suppose.
13.
That is already with the -5, so 20 total.
Nice. Ivanovich is 17. All right.
No, I didn't roll one yet.
Oh, what am I looking at? 17. Oh, that was the
animal handling.
Yeah.
Will
Let's
this
see.
do complex math? Let's find out.
That's why I created the Madison system.
Yes.
20. All right.
20.
So you guys move pretty hastily, but quietly. Like nobody shouts anything or seems to really take. If they notice you at all, nobody cares. And you get to the Bone Temple. Unfortunately, it looks like the horses are gone, meaning that their riders are probably gone also.
Right. Any word from Radu? Has he spotted them? Has he figured them out where they are?
Yeah, it's about this time in your mind, Drago. You can hear an empathic, basically a message from Radu. He apparently has spotted his charge, and he seems to be describing that he's about to go inside of a very large building.
Does Drago have connection like directional? Like when he feels that from Radu, can he like turn and face the direction that Radu would be in?
Not really.
He doesn't have a directional.
Nah.
No.
He can describe like towards the moons or something.
Can I
Which
see
he
him in
does.
the sky? I mean, it's dark, but I do have
Yeah,
night
make a
sighted.
perception roll without the penalty since you're night sighted. Sight speciality.
That. All right.
Yeah, it was DL 15. Not quite. You actually see a raven and then a second one flying off, and you're like, crap, those are messenger ravens. They look like they left a big palace actually nearby, which is probably King Vortimir's estate. So they're not Radu, but they are ravens.
All right.
Messenger ravens, probably.
The other thing that he'd like to try. There is snow in here. Would that count as wintry affinity?
Yeah.
Just try and see if he can see the tracks of the horses and in which direction they went.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, survival. Tracking specialty.
21.
Oh, all right. DL 20. So even with the snow, because it's there's not a lot of snow in here, and plus it was a few moments ago. But yeah, you see, they've got to be the same horses, those same 4 horse tracks, and they're going down a pretty broad street towards that really large building that you saw the ravens kind of fly out of. Probably the king. I mean,
I think I
recognize this is the king, the royal palace.
Oh, I do recognize it. I don't need to roll a lore.
No.
Okay.
I think I have found tracks from their horses. They appear to be heading into this large building.
He is going to Vortimir. We were too late. He is going to meet with the king. It is what it is.
What do you think we should do?
Well, I think we should keep watch of him to see if he comes out from the king's residence and where he goes to stay the night. So I don't know if you wish to keep Radu circling or perched nearby to watch and tell us while we go back to the inn and rouse our companions to be ready should we need to move quickly. If he stays within the king's palace, though, it is impossible for us to get there quite to this time.
Radu can only circle for at most a couple of hours, but
okay,
I can command him to do so.
That would be most helpful. And I figured if he's not out within a couple of hours, he is probably staying the night. It is fairly late for him to be meeting with the king and not staying with the king in the king's palace this late. So he should only be there for a short period of time before leaving again.
Well,
this is good. So set him to watch, and we will head back.
Very well. And actually, if he's just gonna, if I guess since they're in a building, he doesn't necessarily need to circle, so he's just gonna sit.
Just watch the horses.
Yeah. So Drago is just gonna say, Radu, guard Von Glanovich, and so he's just gonna find a spot to set up shop outside of this building.
Okay. Some cover, obviously. There's some alleyways, rooftops.
Well, and I mean, assume like a raven in this city is not gonna, you know what I mean, get any second glances. But...
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we'll head back to the inn.
Okay. So Radu,
stealth check it back.
I mean, that's if we're trying to be stealthy.
I don't know if we need to.
That's a good point. We know where he's at. Nobody's watching for us. Let's just move back quickly.
Yeah.
I'd probably jog back at that point then.
Okay. So you jog back, so that's double speed. So that gets you back in about 7.5 minutes to be specifically. But before you get all the way back, make perception rolls if you would.
Sight, hearing, or smell?
Sight or hearing?
Touch.
Yes. Wrong.
Oof.
All right.
I'm moving too quickly.
Ivanovich doesn't notice, but Drago barely does. Drago, you notice there were two men that kind of walked by you. At first, you thought Ivanovich thinks they're regular city guards, but Drago, you saw a flash of blood red armor underneath their black cloaks. Probably.
Does it seem? Have they taken note of Ivanovich? Does it seem, or have they?
Not at this moment. They don't seem to have really looked that way. Fortunately, he's. I
So
think Eric said he's not wearing his.
I'm not wearing my armor.
They might recognize him by face, but so far.
But I was jogging.
As you go around, which is probably why they were like, "What the hell?" They don't look like anyone you know, like Olga or Wolfric or the Blood Captain.
Drago just like sort
they
of
look pale and gaunt, and they're in blood red armor.
Drago just sidles up to Ivanovich and just whispers, "There are a couple of blood disciples over there. Don't look."
Oh, and as I keep jogging, I was like, well, if we don't acknowledge them, hopefully they do not acknowledge us. Let's just keep going.
Da.
Okay.
And
looks like they're heading down the street towards the tavern. So they don't notice you, and you get back 2 minutes later at the Withered Rose.
Excellent.
Gleb is still sleeping in his pun ward, being punished.
Punished?
Yeah. I was hoping you'd pick up Abigail still doing her nerdy, weird science sorcery.
I'm a real pundit.
Oh, God.
So,
if you're not careful, you're going to get punctured.
So, Abigail, you're done with the first potion, and now you're into the second one.
Oh, I was.
Did y'all do anything else tonight, or?
Well, I figured I was going to jump on one of the tables in the common room and sing a bawdy song, but maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of actually joining some of the dancing ladies,
Make a few extra dollars here and there,
Yeah, extra dollars,
Make a few coins.
No, she'll finish up her potion and then wait for Ivanovich to. I guess he's already back. But
yeah, right as you were starting your second potion is when they come barreling and screwing up your critical success.
Kick everything over.
Yeah.
Screw science, nerd.
Well, no, more like we come barreling in drunk and just stumble over everything.
Hey, what's going on? They pick up the.
Yeah, she's still working on her potion then.
Cool.
I do not interrupt. I just close the door gently and I sit down, grab the bottle of Slavka, pour a couple of glasses, and just sniff at one while I wait for her to finish.
I guess Drago goes into Glove's room at some point, finding him asleep. And for all the nightmares you had, the ghost fence hedges you out, Drago. I knew it would come to this. There's a note under the skull going, who else knows ghost fence? And it's written in like a Scythian sort of hand penmanship. And there's a dragon saddle next to it. So the rest of the night, unless y'all were, so Abigail is the last person to really kind of get something done. Everybody else is probably sleeping. And
well,
I don't know.
Are we not?
We're waiting for the cue from Radu. If Radu notices a change, then we're going to notate where Radu follows, and I will go back out and find that location.
So the only news you get a few minutes later, Drago, from Radu is that he seems to be describing that the men went inside of a big building. and then you're going to put him on watch for a while, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I thought that was I thought that was before me and Ivanovich actually got there. No.
Yeah,
What do you
you
mean?
had said they'd already gone in the big building, and so
Yeah.
once we
Well, he said
realized
they
that,
were approaching, and then 5 minutes later, he said they're going in. So maybe they must have delayed for whatever reason.
okay.
Okay. But yeah, so Radu is just perched somewhere outside of the building,
Okay.
waiting for them.
Okay. All right. So.
And that's his perception roll, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh,
For Radu.
nice. He sees all.
He has
So there
his
was once or
vigilance power.
twice. Well, no, actually, never mind. He knows what. Yeah, he never reports anyone leaving. I mean, that doesn't mean people didn't, but he doesn't report that Glanovich has left during the next hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how long you want to keep him on watch. Longer than
Well, if he's not flying, he can be on watch for several hours. He could be on
yeah, because
watch all
that's
night.
all his stamina as far as flying goes. I assumed he's perched on a rooftop or something. Vantage.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So basically, the night Abigail's done. Night goes by. I don't know if you're trying to stay awake or if you're trying to sleep. But during the next few hours, no message from Radu about anyone leaving.
Yeah. Once Abigail finishes, she'll look at him and say, "So."
Well, Glanovich has made it into Vortimir's palace. So he left the Bone Temple and went straight to Vortimir, according to Radu following him. So at this point, we do not know what treaty or what they are talking about with Vortimir. We will not be able to take him within Vortimir's castle. That is not something we are ready to do at this time, unless the opportunity opens, and I'm always open to it. But it is not on the current agenda. But we will be aware of where he is and where he will be coming out. And when he does come out, we will follow him and take him at that point. Whether he has made treaty with Vortimir or not makes no difference. He will die, and things will move forward as necessary.
Very well.
I'm even having a plan to prevent us from being potentially cursed if what he had us do for the oath comes back to haunt us, because since the crown is on my person, as I run him through, I plan on handing him the crown, just so that he could die with it in his hands. And so that we have fulfilled our oath, we did bring him the crown.
Well, if that opportunity comes, if the king is and the high priest is involved, and if they find out what we have, we may need to rethink this assassination plan.
I think the assassination of Von Glanovich is definitely something that is going to be, very fluid and not concrete in the planning. But I do not believe that the high priest nor Vortimir will be lending a guard to him or be aware of even what we do, because where we are, they don't know that we are here in Transia. And by not knowing that, we have the element of surprise. If we kill Von Glanovich, it might be suspected that I did it or had something to do with it, but there'd be no way to prove it, as long as we do it and slip away quickly.
Very well. Goodness.
But remember, eventually I will become the enemy of the king.
Yes, but I was hoping that it wouldn't be so soon.
Well, same here, but when opportunity presents itself, you have the option of ignoring it and losing out, or taking it and winning.
Do you really think we're prepared for something like that?
I think we will make the right decision when things come.
All right, I trust you.
I'm not one to sacrifice myself unneedingly. I'm going to be the king.
That's what
I
that's
know.
what Clev's for. Clev's
All
good
right.
for like.
Well, if the city is on high alert, then I suppose thieving is out of the options. So, Slavka?
Slavka, yes. I don't know that the city is on high alert yet. We haven't killed anybody. But we will definitely have the Slavka and enjoy the evening. And then in the morning, we will have a better idea of where we can finish off Glanovich and then slip away.
All right.
And I hand you the glass that I've already poured.
I'm sorry that it took so long, but thank you for
right.
not disturbing.
Of course, I knew it was important.
So,
and it's actually the whole mating moon thing wonderful for potion making.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad it worked out.
Yes.
Hopefully, it will be just as good for assassinations.
Out of
Drago?
just.
So it's another 4 hours for Abigail to finish her potion, you said?
This is after that 4-hour period, I think. Or else she probably wouldn't be having this involved conversation.
Yeah.
Drago, does it seem unusual that Von Glanovich has not left the palace yet? It's been 4 hours.
It's not unusual. He got there very late, and it's probably a good host would not let him travel again. He'd give them rooms within the palace. The other alternative there is that somehow Vortimir found out that Glanovich was seeking the blood crown and was none too pleased about this. And in being none too pleased, has already taken care of Von Glanovich for us. But that would be a miraculous event.
I'll find out during the dawn.
That's right.
Da.
Boy, would
Very
that
well.
be nice.
I will try to get some rest then, and hopefully we will hear from Radu soon.
Da. That is the hope.
Okay.
So Drago goes back to his room to get some sleep.
All right. You find Glev holding a orange tabby in his arm.
Look what I found in the kitchen.
2 little fang marks on its neck. Actually on Glev's neck.
Yeah.
Vampire cat. Very interesting.
That's possible.
I'm not even sure, but we could try.
Yes.
I would love to find out if this is possible.
I'm not too sure I'd enjoy a ghoul cat until it's had its 13 kills. It might be a little bit
Can the kills be rats? You could just have 13 rats.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's like, so in order for a kill to count for a ghoul, it has to be a human. And so I'm wondering if the cat would have to kill humans or would have to kill other cats. Either way, it is
obviously you're deep into your Slavka cups at this point.
Yes.
Speculating over morbid.
But the odd part is that Slavka has no effect on me whatsoever. So that's just my twisted thinking.
Yeah, and Abigail she's like, yeah, absolutely. After her like 3rd cup or something.
If you're drinking that much,
I'm weird. That's how that works.
Oh, she'd definitely be drinking that much. I mean,
right,
she's done some potion making.
Make an endurance roll if you're drinking that much.
Yeah.
Resist poison or inebriation.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
At least it's not black Slavka.
That's true.
That's true.
I get a bonus.
Although that's +1 to vigor for an hour if you don't pass out.
10.
I think it's DL10.
Oh,
See,
okay.
Good role playing. You're that means you're at that kind of happy. What do you call it as kids? Buzzed, but you're not really out of your faculties.
Right.
Yeah. She's a little bit more smiley and chuckly than usual.
Your inhibitions are lowered a little bit.
Perfectly fine with me.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, not a good thing around a vampire, probably. But
What? I will not take advantage.
By the way, speaking of advantage, no, scratch that. Out of curiosity, can you have children? I was just thinking of that boy, and I was wondering, like, attaching this to the cat conversation, like, can you have children?
I have children. Like, can I create a vampire child,
Well,
or
no,
can I?
you're undead. So how
Can I
is that?
somehow create a child with another person?
Yes,
I'm not
like
sure.
because you're,
Have no idea.
huh?
I haven't actually tried.
Huh? Interesting.
It would be fun to try, but then again, it would be fun to try just in the sense of trying.
Mm. Yes. Okay. And she, she just crawls into
awkward
bed after
moment
that.
passed.
Just like, all right, that's all I need to know.
Ivanovich starts having some thinking moments, and he's like, "No, no, no, no. She is very drunk."
I was about to have you make a resolve roll, but it hasn't been quite long.
Not quite long enough.
She's thinking
Almost,
about cats and children, and like
because they go hand in hand.
they go hand in hand. Okay, that's why she's bringing it up.
So after this, the night goes by uneventfully, completely quiet. You all get a good rest. No leaky roofs, no mice or rats, no ghoul cats. And
How
Me and my
many
dreams.
how many hours since we
yeah,
left Radu?
Radu never reported anything. He's probably out there. So did you sleep, Drago, the whole like did you are you gonna remain awake all night until Radu? Like give me some kind of
I mean, he
trigger.
slept.
Okay.
I mean, he would wake up if if Radu reacted.
Okay.
But I mean, if possible, he would only want to sleep for like maybe half the night, not a full sleep. He would try and be up pretty early,
Okay. You don't have light
just because
sleepers
he's
talent,
concerned
right?
about him.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have light sleep talent.
Okay. Make a resolve roll. It's only DL10 to try to control your sleep pattern. Yeah, so
15.
like you said, after about 4 hours, you kind of like wake up like, oh crap, where's Rod? And still no sign of Radu. You do still sense him though, empathically, easily within a mile. So he's probably
All
still
right.
at his watch.
Yeah, so it's been 8 hours then, and he's been very
Yeah,
diligent. So he's down
yeah,
to 3 stamina. Um,
Oof.
yeah.
so
He's fatigued.
Drago is just going to make a stop back to Ivanovich and Abigail's room again, and just pop his head in and basically say,
As she's literally saying, "Can you have children?"
No, this is
"Well, this
4 hours
is
after
morning
that.
now.
Oh, okay.
This is like two
They're
hours
probably
before
both asleep."
dawn. It's be about
Oh,
to
okay.
use modern speak about 4 a.m., 4:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Um,
passed out.
and I guess they're both asleep probably.
Duh. I would be at this point.
Yeah.
Um, Drago just wakes Ivanovich anyway to tell him that, "Don't mean to disturb your sleep, my friend, but I am just going to relieve Radu. It has been quite a while that he's been keeping watch.
No change.
No change, but I will
Okay.
I will I will keep watch instead. You can find me outside of the palace."
Very well. Be careful. Let your bird sleep, and then let him take back over so that we can be very stealthy about tracking which way Glanovich goes.
Da. And so he heads out the building and goes to find Radu to relieve him.
Okay. You leave the inn. It's still about an hour and a half, 2 hours before sunrise. Probably go the same route. And yeah, you can sense Radu very close by. And then eventually he just kind of flies down to you without even being really commanded. Obviously weary. And basically confirms, in your mind what you already thought, is he never saw this two-legged human that looks like Victor Von Glanovich leave the king's palace.
Yeah. So then Drago is just going to find a spot to hide and watch as well.
Cool. Okay.
And let Radu just nap in his hood.
Okay. So by the way, Duncan, Drago's down 2 stamina points right now. 2 more.
From what?
So when you only get 4 hours of sleep, it's -2 to stamina. But hold on.
But he gained 4 from sleep.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
So how much did what's the net gain?
So the net gain would be 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is all right by me.
All right. And you're gonna watch?
Find a place to hide and observe. So
okay.
26 to hide.
Yeah. You find another, probably that same spot. Nobody bothering you. Guards walk by. You see those 2 blood disciples even at one point return from a tavern or wherever this seedy place they went to. Just a couple little events like that. And after the end of the 2 hours, the red sun begins to rise off in the east onto an overcast day. And about this time, this might be a good cliffhanger. This is 10:56. But you, Drago, with your own eyes, well, actually make a perception roll, Duncan.
Yeah.
You may not be in the right position for this. I'll decide here.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, just enough. All right. So you observe as the sun comes up, and you can hear some the sound of horse hooves and some men's voices kind of talking with some bravado, and then riding past the front of the king's palace out into the kind of open plaza before. So there's like an open plaza. So see this graphic right here?
Mm-hmm.
There's so this is the temple. So basically this graphic that I'm clicking on is like a point of view from the palace. So there's this kind of like open plaza, like town square with snow in it, like it shows. And you see these men kind of riding, and it looks like Von Glanovich and 6 soldiers, 6 guards with them. And they don't notice you, and that's probably a good place to stop to end our night session, everybody.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cliffhanger as Drago sees them leaving, and this time you're about 35 yards away from them.
All right.
Cool. We find Von Glanovich next.
Sorry, Matt didn't get to do much the last 40 minutes there. I apologize.
All right. I was getting kitty snuggle time here.
That's right. All right. Interesting. We'll see what happens next session. I think Tate will be back.
Yes, we'll have to get Tate back to the group.
Riding on a dragon.
It's going to be interesting to see if...
Riding on a dragon.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It might happen.
Secret vote is in.
Yes, so those of you at home are doing a secret vote. So 4 XP is the base for everybody, and then whoever wins the secret vote gets a bonus point. That's experience point. So 1 vote is in. So Radu gets a vote.
Sending it to the messenger.
Yeah, it worked. All right, Madison's doing her weird route.
Did that whisper? Jeez.
See, that's why I don't do it. That's why I don't trust it.
It's not that hard.
I didn't do it right.
It is.
Let's see. Okay. There's Madison's. All right. Yeah, the GM test worked, Drago. With Clef.
Oops.
Wait, what is happening?
Oh,
Drago did the
oops.
GM test. Okay,
Sorry.
so
There we go.
My not so secret code.
okay. Ooh, all right. Looks like 2 to 1 to 1. Madison also votes for the cat. Yeah, it worked, Madison. You did it right. Oh no, wait, that's not secret.
No, that's not correct.
Oh,
Did on purpose.
The W comes after the slash, not before.
So 2 to 1 to 1. It's Drago is the winner.
Drago.
Yay.
No.
Glanovich. So before Glanovich dies, he gets a bonus experience point, which actually puts him to an amazing advancement where he has all this new cool defensive tactics.
Oh,
It's called the Blood Crown. It says he acquires an object of his choice.
He can acquire my heroic blade in his throat. That's what he can acquire.
Cookie.
Hey, that worked. All right.
Yes. Cookie.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right, next session. Woo.
Maybe in
That was
person.
interesting. It was pretty
That's the
cool.
goal.
Just a couple of things in review. I like Drago. I don't know if he had the shot, but was it worth it?
We'll never know.
Right. Or the curse.
Yeah, cursed him.
It could have gone really bad.
Yeah.
So
10 yards is too freaking close.
Yeah.
Would have been bidding farewell to Drago if he had.
I'm still thinking he should have taken the shot and then hauled ass.
Yeah.
I just hope that it killed him. Just be
Are
like,
you killing him or didn't?
Just blind.
Hey, you were rolling really good tonight. Maybe
I was.
might have gotten a nat 20. Who knows?
I mean, especially because you get that whole maximum damage. You get the off guard defense of 10 unless he's got cat like reflexes.
Yeah.
You know, you got a whole lot of bonuses there.
You could
It's true.
probably hit maximum damage fairly easily.
Yeah.
But now we know where he is and still have
That's right.
the advantage. So
And you can still do that. Only now when you do it, you'll have 3 other people able to add to that damage.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. He does have a few more guards with him now, but
Yeah, with a few
Abigail remembers seeing 6 or 7 guards with him in the vision, even though Drago only saw 4 the other night. But
yeah, so
the
now
guys
he's
were
got
hanging
his
out. They
normal
were chilling
guards.
somewhere.
We put a couple of them to sleep. We killed Glanovich right out of the gate. You know,
Or we wait for him to leave Transia. He might be leaving.
It's true.
I'm good with that too, actually.
Catch him outside the city walls.
Yep.
Yeah. Avoid the law.
Hope
Pass
Yeah.
these hands outside.
His guards, but also blood disciples here, which is interesting because Ivanovich is also a blood disciple. Just like Glev is a priest of Vanderok, and now there's Vladimir the Pale involved,
Yeah.
supposedly. But-
Yes.
I'm so nervous.
We can do it.
You can do it. All right. Love to Misha,
All right.
will.
You feel better.
Sarah, and everybody.
Yep. And then is everybody game for next week, or is anybody got stuff going on, or?
Yeah, I should be fine. The show opens oh, wait a minute. No, we have a tech. We have a tech.
Yeah.
We have a tech on Thursday because we open on Friday.
Okay. What show is it?
Oh, it's just a Sondheim review cabaret show. So
Cool.
It's the Heart studio season. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Dang it. We're going to be missing Glev. Or
Yeah, maybe Tate's back. Glev will go silent, and Tate and Magus will come back.
That's right.
you can switch positions. You can go hunt for the dragon and
Yeah, right.
not knowing dragon speech like Magus does.
That's right.
What could possibly go wrong?
I could possibly try to speak
nothing.
angelic to it. So
That's right. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Yep.
good
And,
night.
Fun,
I
fun,
get to
fun.
level up by next time too. Next time I play, I'll be leveling up. So
oh, that's true. Yeah, because you're only like one short.
yeah, I was at 139, so I'll be at 143 now.
Cool. Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Viewers, thanks for watching. Check out Savage Kingdoms, drivethrurpg.com.
Yes, do so. It is totally worth it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thanks to my awesome players. See y'all later.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Awkward ending time.